member told Politico on Monday that he will become national senior advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
MoJo 50.
Hey guys, Matt Locke, the Conservative Cartel. I'd like to take a minute and tell you about a new weight loss product that's instantly becoming part of the MoJo 50 family. It was launched by a Dallas area company who had taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. A 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened, and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. One Ridgezone client, Sarah, recently lost over 100 pounds. While she looks amazing, she has been struggling every day with cravings. Now that she's taking Ridgezone, she says it's so much easier to control her appetite and she's not thinking about food all day. Ridgezone contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to ridgezone.com, RIDUZONE.com, and enter the code MATT, M-A-T-T. That's Ridgezone, RIDUZONE.com.
MoJo 50. The question isn't
Who's going to let us?
the question is who's going to stop us?
The mothership has landed.
Oh, yeah. It is finally Friday. This has been like the 6-month week.
I take it as a personal insult.
Yes, I'm happy to be done.
On a dusty road. Good God.
Good loving.
I got a truckload.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get it,
What you got?
you got something. So don't worry, 'cause I'm coming. I'm a soul man.
Not a day too soon. There's just some weeks that fly by, and then there's others. This was one of the others, especially if you're in California. They cannot catch a break. Flooding. It's Guerneville, California. I think it's in Northern California. It's still cut off. They thought that a river broke out of its banks up there. 30 teams of damage inspectors are going to be entering the flooded communities along the Russian River. One of them is still at flood stage of 32 feet. The Russian River has reached about 46 feet on Wednesday night.
This is where?
Northern California.
Okay, so they call it the Russian. Are you like Rushing River or
This would be the Russian, as in the Black Russian or the White Russian or the Red Russian.
Interesting. Why I don't understand why we have a Russian River and then we're all Trump is in Russian collusion. So is the river apparently.
Floodwaters cut off the towns of Guerneville and Monterrey. The sheriff up there said there are no reports yet of death or injuries. He said the deputies have helped rescue 3 women since Wednesday night. Boats, he says 2 were on a boat without paddles. So they were up the proverbial
Shit Creek.
Had to be rescued from a tree. So things are not going well for them out there. And to add insult to injury, you've got the floods, you got the earthquakes, you have the landslides, the tsunamis, the wildfires in California. When I was living out there, they always talked
Dogs
about
and cats living together, mass hysteria. I love my girlfriend because she sleeps above the covers, 4 feet above the covers. She barks, she drools. Points for anybody who gets that.
Oh, I got it.
I know you did.
Isaac,
I know you did.
Ghostbusters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ron's the only other old guy. By the way, the remake of that?
No, they're coming out with a follow-up with the original cast.
Well,
obviously not with
the female
Egon.
remake.
No, I didn't see that. I don't waste my time.
I didn't either.
Women in movies. What do they know how to do?
So now they're saying they've got to worry, in addition to everything else out there in California, they have to look out for volcanic eruptions.
Yellowstone.
That's not in California.
It doesn't make a difference. It's going to wipe out California.
But apparently there is enough of the chain of volcanoes. Mount St. Helens, I think, is in that chain. Mount Shasta, Medicine Lake volcano, Lassen Volcanic
Ricky's
Center.
got a sister named Shasta.
There's a Salton Butts. I think that's Salton Buttes. Near the southern border, they've erupted within the last 3,000 years. They're considered to be high to very high-risk areas. So the Long Valley Volcanic region in the east is also erupted in that time period, but they're considering that a moderate to a very high risk as well. So this may be the year that California just literally cracks off along the border there and becomes either an island or Atlantis.
If Lex Luthor had just gotten through with his plan and Superman had not intercept, I mean, I know he promised to get Miss Tessmacher's mother first, you know, but all he had to do was just not spin back that world and it would be fine. Otisburg would be a place right now. Otisburg would be a place right now.
I love this line. A volcano can cause widespread damage, even when it's not erupting, according to the report from the U.S. Geological Survey. So things are not good in California. I do miss the weather out there. I don't miss the traffic, but the weather, man, there is nothing like California weather.
I heard San Diego's got the best weather in the nation, and then they call it Chamber of Commerce weather because it's year-round, exactly what you would want to promote a city.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. There's a little haze involved out there, but it's I mean, it's not bad. In other great news, you ever shop at JCPenney?
Yeah, the three big ones when I was a kid were Sears, JCPenney, and Montgomery Ward's.
Monkey Ward's.
Thank you, which we called Monkey Ward's.
Did you ever have to, did you buy the Husky jeans at
Oh,
Sears?
yeah. Husky jeans, but before then was the Garanimals. Because I was a toddler.
Right,
kid,
right, yeah.
Garanimals, then Husky jeans.
They had Husky jeans, I guess, back when you were a youngster, you were a kid. You know what Husky jeans are, Isaac?
Nah, but I heard of Garanimals.
Yeah. Yep.
Husky jeans were a polite way of saying you're fat. So you had to wear, you had the normal size, which I guess today would be like the pencil or the skinny jeans, and then you had the your kids' fat jeans, which were Husky jeans. So I wore Husky jeans.
My
You're
jeans.
a big guy. You're a big guy.
Yeah, that's what I have. My mother's thighs. JCPenney is closing 24 more stores. Boy, I didn't see that one coming. That's JC. Have you been into a JCPenney lately? You don't even know what JCPenney is?
Yeah.
You do? Izzo? You ever been into a JCPenney lately?
No, we got one by me over at Woodfield Mall. So I got Woodfield Mall, one of the bigger malls in the nation, and I go into the JCPenney entrance because it's easier, but that's about the extent of it.
You ever shop there? I mean,
I
just walk through?
You have to understand something. I had two sisters growing. I have two sisters growing up. They're growing, whatever, and my mom. So I was the only boy, and I still have painful memories of shopping with your mom and sisters.
With my
and
mom
going
and sisters?
that too.
Your mom.
Oh my God, just standing there,
Yeah.
going down the clothing aisle and being bored out. This is the day for all you young kids out there who didn't know what cell phones. We didn't know what cell phones were back then. Didn't exist.
Yeah, you had nothing to do.
This is the 70s and the friggin' early 80s.
Yeah.
And you are staring at the floor, the bad linoleum for hours.
Yeah, while they tried crap
Oh
on.
my
It was
God.
It was
Watch
brutal.
the cart, hold my purse,
Yeah.
watch your sister. Oh, shit. Are we done with this yet?
The worst part is when they meet up with a friend and then they start talking for hours.
Yeah.
No, my mom's not very friendly. She's very like, she's there for a purpose. She's not there to mess around.
I've learned that the answer when a woman says, "Hey, you want to go shopping with me?" The answer is no.
Okay.
You don't even stop and think about it. I have to, and fill in the blank with anything else. Clean the toilet, wash my hair, clip my toenails, reorganize the sock drawer, wash the car, scrub the cat, whatever. JCPenney is closing 15 additional full-line stores, 9 home and furniture locations. The retailer struggling to get its footing amid significant challenges for department stores. That's because they haven't kept up. JCPenney,
I have to. Well, how much online stuff? I mean, online destroyed the big box stores. I mean, obviously from years ago, but I have to wonder how these stores lasted so long.
It is amazing that
I don't mean to interrupt you again, but yes, I do because I don't care. It's what I do. Or is the pendulum going to swing back the other way, and are the JCPenney's not going to take off in the next couple of years?
JCPenney probably not. They tried to hire, or they did hire the guy who ran Target a few years ago, trying to get JCPenney to be Target.
Target?
And that's when they went to JCP and the little.
Did you notice that?
their
That
logo.
started a trend a couple of years ago with Kentucky Fried Chicken went to KFC, and when I opened up my gym years ago, somebody told me that the branding now is eliminating things and going to the smallest possible, like take the first letters of everything and make it, like if my gym, my first program was like Izzo Training Systems. No, call it ITS. So it's branding. What is it? Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of branding, it's been JCPenney. This is one of their newer commercials here.
At JCPenney, new from Atari.
Okay.
Heading your way with a special offer. Only from JCPenney. Purchase a Pac-Man video game cartridge and another Atari cartridge, or Pac-Man and an Atari video computer system, and get a free Pac-Man t-shirt. Pac-Man at JCPenney. If it's not the fastest moving fun you've ever had, we'll eat our words.
See, that's their idea of being on the cutting edge right there, the Atari system. God, that had to have been from 1907. So JCPenney closing their stores. Victoria's Secret closing 53 more stores. They are, its parent company, L Brands, also owns, what else do they own? Bath and Body Works.
Oh, really?
See, you perked up at Bath and Body Works.
I like their scented stuff. I really like this. You walk in, you got the candles, you got the loofahs, and you got some of the attractive ladies there who are in the nice yoga pants that are wearing the aprons.
Right.
Walk in, and I'm like, can you help me? Can you get that over there, please, for me, miss? Oh.
While they're not making sandwiches, they're wearing the aprons.
It's okay.
So JCPenney and Victoria's Secret. You ever been into a Victoria's Secret, Isaac?
Yeah.
You like those, huh?
I hate the paying part. I like
right.
it,
Now,
how can so little fabric cost so damn much?
Doesn't make a difference. Do you walk in kind of like not trying to make eye contact, or do you walk in and you own that? I walk in there like I own that place.
Got it. Now
I'm walking in. I'm bold. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm here to buy some shit and be a hero at home. Who's it for, sir? And then I got to make up this imaginary girlfriend I have.
Right.
I'm shopping for, she's X, Y, and Z, and I don't know sizes and stuff. So it's, yeah.
So these are things you wear.
These are things that I try. Here's my theory, is that women don't want a man who is available. Now pay attention to this, young man. This is usually true. Women are attracted to something they can't have. Men are too inherently. It's what we are. So when you go in, like, you gotta dress the part. You look casual, but you gotta be nice up. And you walk in like you're window shopping. You can't say for your wife. Right. Then off the market. I'm window shopping for my girlfriend. You can't be that long together either. Right. Yeah, we've been together about 4 or 5 months. Make yourself a little bit available and just kind of, and then just drop the bomb a little bit. Like, well, she's kind of prude, and I'm hoping that this will warm her up a little bit. And then he's, well, what are you into? What do you wear? And you just go from there.
What? You ever worn a thong?
You ever worn a thong?
Yeah. That's a yes right there. Okay.
I just was checking out the commercial.
That'd be a yes right there. Isaac, you ever worn one?
Nah.
Never had one on?
Nah.
They feel
Are we talking about my lower half or on my head?
Either way. Yeah. Either way. Just saying. So we got
my mouth.
Victoria. It's so little fabric, so much money. The Gap, too, is closing 230 stores.
Gap wouldn't close when I did.
Spinning Old Navy is going to be its own company now.
I do like Old
Navy. Old Navy's great.
Cheap clothing, it's good.
Man, it's like disposable. You
guys
go
have
in.
a Kohl's out here?
There used to be one.
Okay.
In Dallas?
Yeah, Kohl's, I do
Dallas,
there too.
not around Fort Worth. There was one in Northeast Mall, if I remember right.
In Tennessee, I know we had Kohl's. I don't know if I've ever seen one down here. Of course, I don't go clothes shopping very much at all, ever. Matter of fact, I have too many clothes. The Old Navy is going to be its own company because the Gap is apparently bleeding money. It is also spinning, let's see, the Gap and who else do they own? Because all these stores are owned by these conglomerates who own 8 other stores. The Gap says it's struggling. The Gap stores that are struggling the most are expected to be closed the end of this year, and all but roughly 150 locations will be shuttered as their leases expire. 40% of the purchases are being made through their websites now.
That's what I'm saying. It's there's no tax. You buy online. You eliminate the oh god again.
There has to be a tax if they have a brick and mortar in the state.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay, well, it's the more you know. Brad Staggs. Yeah, but it also saves the time of. I mean, it's procrastination central. It's like, oh, I got to get her a gift. Oh crap. I don't have to go to the store.
Old Navy to get her a gift.
Well, I'm cheap.
I like their.
I'm cheap.
Apparently so.
He is all about lying too. It's like, you wait till the day of.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you get me a gift? Man, I went to Old Navy, or I went to Victoria's Secret.
Mm-hmm.
The line was long. I wanted to get you this, but there was some other woman who sat there and wanted the exact same pair, and she just, I knew it would make her feel sexy because she's not as attractive as you, and she's kind of a big girl. I thought maybe she needed the extra small just to make her feel. I couldn't. I thought it was the best thing to do, and I had to rush home to be with you.
She didn't.
No,
she didn't see
buy
through
that.
that.
Why
lie?
do you think I'm single?
Okay.
Nobody believes
Do you
my
remember
bullshit.
the old Gap commercials?
Do it at the Gap. Get that do it up feeling. Do it up.
Yellow tag in America and save 15 to 30% on thousands of store-wide values. Go back to school in style with Guys and Gals Fashion Denim.
Guys and gals.
Jeans now only $14.90.
Guys, gals, and trannies.
Plaid shirts are back at a low price of $9.90. And get Guys and student-size Gap Fashion Pioneer cords now just $11.90.
Fall into the Gap.
Behind this sign are America's best values in jeans and shirts.
Don't forget, sale ends September 7th. I remember the Fall into the Gap. And then there was Miller's Outpost out on the West Coast, too.
Miller's Outpost.
That was a great store. That was one of the first jobs I ever had. God, I hated that job. Ugh. Had to deal with people every day. That sucked. Sir, would you like to try this on in the dressing room or right here in front of people?
Oh, right there in front of people. I'm telling you, I have found so much personal satisfaction doing the most uncomfortable things while staring at people with a straight face. Try it. Just anything. I don't care if it's you're buying groceries. I don't care if it's you're trying something out in a store. I don't care what you do. Sit at a light next time and just look at somebody.
Oh, get on an elevator and face the back wall. That will that freaks people out. Totally freaks people out.
I like that, though.
Oh, that's a great one.
Parallel, and this is something, too. Isaac, you ever go to a mall?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what you got to do. So it only works on the escalators going down, okay? Going down. When you get...
I think I know what you're going to say. When you touch somebody else's hand.
No. So if you're left-handed, you got to do this on the left-hand side, right-hand side, because based on your strength. So as the escalator's going down, right? It's going down. Once you get to the middle with both hands, yank as hard as you can on the rail, and there's space, and it will go back, and you watch the people in front of you like this. and they all freak out.
I've done that.
It is hilarious.
It's like a giant rubber band on either side. So yeah, if you can pull it, it'll move.
I don't know why that still makes me laugh, but I love that. You see like 4 or 5 people ahead of you just go.
90% of human beings, or of adults rather, have their cell phone within arm's reach at all times.
Oh,
do you feel naked without your cell phone? You ever walk out of the house and think,
I want to get rid of my cell phone.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it, but why do you want to get rid of it?
Ladies blowing up your phone too much?
Yeah,
too many pictures, too many naked pictures being sent to you?
Naked pictures, man.
I know, that's such a burden.
I feel bad. So I'm in a deposition back home where the current sheriff of Cook County is suing somebody who's involved in my campaign. And I'm not in this. I'm not a defendant. I'm not a plaintiff. They just want information about how the guy they're suing may have gotten rumor information. So they're trying to get my cell phone. That's what okay, you're going to need therapy. You're going to need therapy. You want to open Pandora's box? You're going to need therapy.
Yeah, so are you referring to the pictures on your phone?
Pictures, text messages, emails to your wife. I don't know what it is.
Whatever it takes.
That's right.
And it really, it doesn't matter what you want to keep on your cell phone. It doesn't matter what content you have on there as long as you have a Patriot Mobile cell phone account. Because they don't care what you have on your cell phone.
No.
They really don't. You can do anything you want. They are strong, staunch conservatives and libertarians. The only thing they want to make sure of is that the money that you pay them does not go to fund some of these ultra left-leaning causes, the Planned Parenthoods of the world. No, instead, if you have a Patriot Mobile cell phone account, you will rest well at night, knowing that a portion of your bill goes to fund things like Camp Hope or Empower Texans or the Susan B. Anthony list or Tea Party Patriots. If you go to patriotmobile.com/doc, that is where you will start. You can, that way we get credit for it, to be very honest with you. They help fund the NRA. A portion of your money goes to the NRA every month. Freedom Works. Plus, if you are in love with the phone you have right now, you keep it, or you can get a new one.
Can you keep the number too?
You can keep the number if you want to, or you can get a new one. I've had the same cell phone number for 20, 25.
Do you
20
remember
years?
when the first numbers you had when you were growing up as a kid?
9462783.
Yeah, it's 9340525.
Now, what's my phone number right now?
I don't know.
I don't
No
either.
idea.
I don't either. Isaac, you know what your phone number is?
My phone number?
Yeah. You know what your phone number is?
Right now? Or
Yeah.
like the old one?
Yeah, but you know what your phone number
Yeah,
is right now.
I know
Oh.
that.
You know what Ron's is? I have no idea. I don't know what anybody's phone
I
number
used to know
is.
everyone's. Yep.
Yeah.
My grandmother's, my
best-
uncle's. Yeah.
Best friends was 615-942-4209.
Grandmother's was 358-8866.
And now nobody remembers
And
anything.
this was when 312 in Chicago was the area code. Then it was 708. Then it was 847, 773,
Nobody remembers
224.
any of that stuff anymore. That's
Get
the
all
beauty
that
of having
crap
a phone and backing it up. Go to patriotmobile.com/doc and do something right and good for the country, or be part of the problem.
Can't imagine one of these new kids growing up today looking at the dial rotary phone.
Oh, have you not
And-
seen the video
yeah.
of kids trying to figure out how to make it?
Looking at it going, how do you watch the porn from here?
The pictures were, you had to stare through the little holes. Pictures are really tiny. Store closings. Some more good news as we travel down retail memory lane. Abercrombie and Fitch expected to be closing even more stores. They last year I think were they were down to 868 stores. They're going to close I think more.
That's kind of your fashion. You're kind of an
I've never been in an Abercrombie
You're
and
a
Fitch.
Gap-ish kind of guy / Abercrombie and Fitch.
I am a find the cheapest place to buy a shirt.
Okay, I disagree. You got that
Perry
going on.
Ellis.
I don't even know what that is.
Perry Ellis, it's in the mall. Perry Ellis. If you go to the 75% off rack, that's where you'll find me.
That's
I will
smart.
not. I just don't. I can't. I've had one in my life. I have one suit, custom fit, which is, I mean, if you've never had anything custom fit to you, it's amazing. It fits like a glove.
Tried that
but-
once in a suit, but then obviously over the years you
Yes. Well, the secret is you have to have them leave enough fabric so that they can let it out over the years.
Didn't happen.
Ascena Retail Group, Dress Barn, Lane Bryant, Justice, Ann Taylor, Loft. They're all closing. They say 268 more stores are closing this year. Best Buy, they opened 250 smaller stores, but now they're saying they could all be closed by this May. The retail, especially in the malls, man, it is just dying. Bon-Ton stores, they're going away. They filed for
Say that
Chapter
again?
11. Bon-Ton.
Never heard of them.
I haven't either. Maybe that's why they're going out. Foot Locker,
They can't be going out of business.
it's shrinking its retail footprint. Their sales per square foot, their gross margins per square foot, everything else has improved as they've closed stores. So they're finding the more stores they close, the more money they make. Who knew?
Oh, geez. Oh, that makes sense.
J. Crew. Ever been there?
When I was a kid, they were along lines of there was J. Crew was the upper echelon of like
Right.
snobbish people.
They closed 20 stores last year,
Good for
and
Good for them. AOC would be proud.
shutting down another 39, they said.
Okay. Let's keep putting those people out of work.
Which,
See,
by the way, we have good news for that. We're going to have
Right.
some jobs coming up. but-
Here's the problem, though. This is my thing about retail. Is I started in retail, you know, then the bar industry, and then law enforcement. Everything's customer service. I think, and I purely think that these retail businesses are going out of business, not because you got the AOCs demanding people get $15 an hour, but because there is crap customer service. I would give my business to good customer service, but I don't know about you. You're a grown man. You are
Sometimes.
you are a tall man, so you have that stature and presence. How many times do you go in someplace and some kid goes, "Hey, bud, what's going on? How are you, guy?" And I'm like, even me at my age, I'm like, "You meant sir? I'm paying money. You meant sir, right?"
See, that stuff doesn't bother me.
Oh, it bothers the shit out of me.
There's half the time I want to be paid attention to in the store, unless I'm just looking. It's like, get away from me.
You know what?
But then when I
no.
want the service, I was like, where the hell is everybody?
See, I want that just acknowledgement of customer service, and then that's going to make your life. Then I'm going to praise you. And I'm very big lately on Twitter. I love going to fast food places, and if I get, hey, how are you? How's your day? What's going on? Thank you, sir. This and that. I will tweet the crap out of McDonald's, going, "Hey, at this location, blah blah blah. Your guys gave superior customer service."
Yeah.
I'm all about more acknowledging. Thanks to Twitter,
And that's a good
superior
thing.
customer service now.
Good news travels very slowly. Bad news travels at the speed of light. Macy's closing more stores.
If it's not at Macy's, go to Gimbel's.
And you know what happened to Gimbel's. Sam's Club is expected to, as of late last year, closing 63
I thought they were having
more
problems.
stores.
I thought they were having problems.
And Sears and Kmart, we all know that story. That thing, I'm surprised Sears is still hanging on.
Oh, the Sears Tower. No longer the Sears Tower.
No, they sold the Craftsman
Willis.
brand. Now you can buy Craftsman at Home Depot and Lowe's. Or it's one or the other.
I prefer Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
Used to have Ace Hardware.
And Kmart.
Yeah, oh my God, Blue Light Special. We used to tell my sister when she was a kid. So we had it was sadistic. My one sister and I are 2 years apart. Then we got the one who's 8 years apart from us.
Yeah.
We used to tell her all the time, hey, see that Cabbage Patch Kid box up there? You came in that, and you were a Blue Light Special at Kmart. Oh, my God. There was nothing better.
Blue Light Special.
Blue Light Special.
Isaac.
Getting her crying because the dog would howl when she would cry.
He has no idea what you're talking
You know what a
about.
Blue Light Special is at Kmart?
No.
Oh,
I forgot about Kmart
The beacon
stores.
used to go off.
Yeah,
and
they'd
he's
have
like, Blue Light Special.
Yes.
Attention shoppers, there's a Blue Light Special right now on Frito-Lay's potato chips. You can buy 3 bags and get 2 for 99 cents. That's the Blue Light Special, and thank you for shopping today at Kmart.
I am so glad I'm finally old enough to be at an age where I say, I can remember when.
I know, right? Of course, it takes longer to pee now, but it's price of aging. Some future jobs. We'll talk about those when your Daily Mojo continues next.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. Mojo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Well, it's Friday, and we have to have some fun, and there's all sorts of stupidity in the universe today. I'm going to start with the stupidity of a homeowners association that fined a couple, sent them an actual letter claiming they violated the obscenity portion of the HOA rules when they left a penis-shaped display in their parking space. What? Well, if somebody did that, you'd be mad. The people didn't do it. Here's what happened. They parked their car in their parking space, and it snowed, and the car was still warm, and the heat of the car left an unsnowy area that the HOA claimed looked like a penis. People have lost their minds. Of course, they dismissed the fine when they realized how stupid it was. And speaking of stupid, a dog park in Massachusetts actually had the police called. Police were summoned to a dog park to respond to a woman's complaint that one of the dogs in the dog park had, quote, sexually assaulted her dog in the dog park. Here's what happened. Dogs run around dog parks. Dogs have a tendency to jump on top of each other. In other words, one dog was humping another dog, and the man went over and tried to get his dog off her dog. She wasn't happy because it didn't happen soon enough. Penises in the parking lots, dogs humping in the dog park. It's going to be a great Friday. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, how about those communications coming in over on the Twitterverse? Using
Yeah,
the
they're
hashtag,
already being
what I learned
rude,
today.
and they're already being jackholes. It is what it is. Blah, 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 blah. Jill Kellogg, hashtag, what I learned today is, Brad Staggs, you are a shoe-in for the Kmart Blue Light Special announcer.
Thank you.
Hashtag what I learned today.
Thank you. You know, it takes years of practice to be able to announce a Blue Light Special on aisle 16 right now.
Well, here's something. The Mojo Country, the merger of T-Mobile and Sprint is going to be like Kmart and Sears.
In the end, it'll end up being just like it was with the big phone companies. There'll be like 2 and Patriot Mobile. So yeah, everything they expand and then they all buy each other and then they get broken up. It's cyclical. Anything else going on?
Yeah, Virginia Jackhole, hashtag what I learned today. I want to go shopping with Izzo. Can you imagine what fun that will be? Right. That's right. No,
Or you could stay at home and push thumbtacks underneath your fingernails.
Yeah, that's pretty much better.
I mean, it would be about the same thing.
No, you don't want to go. I am just, guys, I'm a prick. I'm really not that fun to be around.
Hadn't noticed.
No, I know.
Joining us now on the line is HJ. I'm gonna do my best to pronounce this. It is Shamas. HJ Shamas. Did I get that right, sir?
Yeah. Hello, guys. How are you? Good morning,
Hey,
everyone.
how are you?
I'm just I'm
Great,
proud I
great.
got the name right. You are the author of a book called The Employee Millionaire: How to Use Your Day Job to Become a Millionaire with Rental Properties. Tell us what first of all what the book is. I assume the title kind of says it, but go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for having me on the show. It's a great show, by the way. I love what you're discussing, guys.
Thank you. Good days, bad days.
Yeah, so maybe for the book, so I'd like to just share a small story about how I come about with the book. So, because in a way it helps explain the book in a way, yeah?
Sure.
So, like most employees, I was really a broke employee who was really running from a paycheck to the next just to make ends meet. I was trapped in the rat race, like every other person out there, and not having any money left at the end of the month. And I realized that even people in the companies who are really like managers or directors, they were suffering the kind of the same problem, irrespective of where they fall on the corporate ladders. So really, I wanted to break out of this life program, and I wanted to achieve financial freedom to stop being dependent on a job to put food on my table, and also stop being dependent on a boss who will tell me when shall I take a leave or a vacation and stuff, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, I wanted to have more money, but also I didn't have too much choices, so I was having struggles,
Well,
and then in 2008, there was the...
I think that's the same problem a lot of people have is you want to make a choice and you realize I've got $200 in my bank account and what the hell can I do? If I do want to make a change in my circumstances, there's only so many hours in a day. I've only got so many hours to work. So
pack up, leave your wife and kids at home,
right.
ditch the mortgage, change your name, and just don't come back.
So what was it that you did?
And actually, and that's what the
you did that, didn't you? Oh my God, you son of a bitch!
So what was the second for me and what woke me up actually, there was a lot in the financial crisis of my colleagues, and I heard a lot of people on the news leaving jobs and being laid off, and then really I couldn't imagine how would they sustain their lives, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to really find something, and I was in my mid-30s, and I had no savings, and really it was really like shit in a way, yeah? So what happened here, I had a coach, and the coach told me that actually the fact you're being employed allows you to take money from banks and to use those bank loans as good debt to purchase income-producing assets. And this was an aha moment for me that now my job was a leverage, something I could depend on, rather than only working hard for my job. My job will work wise for me in a way, so that I can start really taking loans, purchasing rental properties, and one property after the next, I started to earn passive income, and then things started to move quite fast. In 7 years, in 7 years, really, I started to achieve financial freedom, and I became a millionaire. And then I wanted to share this for the world.
Hey, can I ask you a question? You're mapping out the American dream, and you're talking about something. Whenever somebody like you comes out and they present this very excitable passion behind something, people don't understand probably the intense hard work and time that you had to put in this. You just said 7 years. So can you give any advice to people who are just going to start doing what you're doing or come find you? Can you give them an advice how to weather the storm in not thinking they're going to be a success within 6 months or what that get rich quick aspect of it?
Yeah. So yes, indeed. So actually, it's not a get-rich scheme. So basically, we have to really go through a lot of hard work to really get the first property, and it takes a lot of time to rent it out and get having the passive income, and that again you increase your total income again and go to get the second loan and repeat the cycle over and over. But what happens after you get 5, 6 properties, it gets into like a virtuous circle. Things start to speed up, and you start to find much faster results. So in the beginning, it's going to be a tough road, but we need the process. And this is what I want to share with everybody is how can you use the process through the use of my book.
Right.
So I noticed that it said some of this you're giving away free. You said your publisher thought you were crazy. But what was the part? What was the free part? Where did it go in here? Anyway, tell me about that.
Yes.
Oh, the free ebook.
Yeah, so I wanted to share actually with all the listeners of the show a free ebook, and actually my publisher told me, "Are you crazy? And you're gonna really just gonna affect the sales of your book and your award-winning book?"
Right.
But then I thought, no, really, I want to get this information into the hands of as many people as possible. So I shared a book called "The 4 Stages of Building Wealth," and it can be downloaded from www.employeemillionaire.com /the 4 stages. And 4 is written as digit number 4.
/ what now? Say that one more time.
The 4 stages.
The four
the 4 stages, like the number 4. Gotcha.
Like Frankie Valli and the 4 stages.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. We'll tweet that link out, and that's where they can download the free ebook. That'll get they'll give them some information to get started. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So this free book will help them really like get their financials in order, put financial objectives, and decide on which investment journey they want to embark on.
Cool. All right. So that's employeemillionaire.com / the 4 stages. That's where they can start.
Yep. That's
all
correct.
right. Are you on the are you on the Twitter or the Facebook? Where can people find you there?
Yes. So my Facebook page is facebook.com employee millionaire, and my Twitter account is @hjchamas. And my website is www.employeemillionaire.com.
All right. They can find all that. Obviously, they can find that at the website. They can get connected with you there. All right, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you for calling today. Here's the thing. You never know where your next big opportunity is going to come from. We put them out there. You decide. Do your research.
He was passionate as all heck, though. I like that. And that's the one thing I'm really glad he did, because a lot of people don't do that. He gave a number, 7 years. And I appreciate that.
People who think 6 months you're going to get rich and they give up after 6 months, it's in very rare circumstances does it actually happen that way.
I am a huge MLM and network marketing guy. Been involved with it for over a decade. And I wish to God my first guy had said, "Hey, you're not going to get rich overnight. And
right.
So, this is going to take you 4 or 5 years." And I'm glad and that's why that business gets such a big scam on it, because people don't go in the realization. But any business you go into, if you want to franchise a McDonald's, if you want to go into real estate, you are looking at a minimum of a 4-year investment. Yeah. Anything you do.
Yep. The biggest secret to success, that we will share here, absolutely free.
Marry rich.
Well, there's that one. That's the second biggest secret. The biggest one, don't quit.
Oh God.
Don't quit. Don't stop. That's what I hear from everybody who's ever made it to the big time. They've become an overnight sensation in 10 years.
You know what?
Don't quit.
So where is the line drawn to where you stop going after something? Like all these people who move out to California to become an actor. At what point do you just go, all right, I gotta rethink my game plan, because showing up to these auditions and taking time out of working during the day is not paying my bills, and now I live on the side of the road. I don't know if you've ever seen the documentary Bigger, Stronger, Faster. It was a documentary on steroids, and they had a guy who was an extra in a Sylvester Stallone movie, Over the Top.
Right.
And he was the guy who drank the motor oil, like in the arm wrestling scene. So he had a couple lines in that movie. It was a big 80s movie. He was a big bodybuilder. And you fast forward now, he's literally living out of a van in the parking lot of Gold's Gym, thinking he's going to get his big break. And he's in his late 60s. When's it time to kind of say, you know what? I did this. Is that still quitting if you go, I gotta try something else?
Well, and that's just it. There is no, I don't think there's any, there's no formula to say whether it's 5 years or 7 years. If you're passionate, and that's the difference between being passionate about something and chasing the money. You can't chase the money, because you literally,
oh yeah,
that's when you want to give up in 6 months.
And when do you give up when she says no? I mean, how long do you chase? Do you ever quit, or
no
just
means try harder?
Thank you.
No means try harder. That's all that happens to mean. Speaking of trying harder, there's really no good way to do this, is there? The Healthy Lifestyle Challenge continues with the Rich Solution. I took my supplements this morning. I can't figure out if it's placebo, because things cannot. No, I mean, your body's physiology.
Do you feel better?
I do.
Then there you go.
That's just weird. I always
mental health is going to dictate your physical health, so you want to feel better. I don't care about anything else. And if you're like, "Good morning, I'm Brad Staggs, and I'm having a good day today," then that's all we care about.
Well, and that's what you got.
Good.
Actually, here's something I did find on therichsolution.com. If you go over to Get Started on their tabs there, and I should have called Gwen because this is way too over the top. It's free, healthy, and tasty recipes for you. You can get these absolutely free at therichsolution.com. Remember, you get what you pay for when it's free. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. And you're supposed, this is, it's a quarter head of cabbage, quarter head of cauliflower, 2 kale leaves, half a lemon. You can leave the peel on, or you can leave the pea on, and 2 apples. I think it's a smoothie. You blend all these things up. So cabbage, cauliflower, kale, lemon, and apples.
You'll be alkaline, very alkaline.
Is that's a good thing?
Yeah, it's very good. You'll be alkaline. Yeah.
All right, so one of you jackholes please do me a favor because I don't know how to use a blender. But if you go to therichsolution.com and you go to Get Started and the free and tasty recipes for, please someone make this.
I'm sorry. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care enough. Stephen English on Twitter. # what I learned today. If you move to Hollywood to become an actor, as though it's time to call quits when you find yourself blowing a guy for a sandwich.
Want to go to lunch?
Oh God! Are you the same son of a bitch who made me laugh yesterday with that closing? Oh God!
He gets things going. So there's a broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. There's the sweet kale asparagus.
Okay, make your pea smell funny.
Ever had asparagus ice cream?
I can actually see that going, tasting good. I actually can. I love asparagus.
How about Brussels sprouts ice cream?
Oh, I love Brussels sprouts.
I do too. There was a Brussels sprouts festival in California. I did a story on for the Nashville Network once, and I thought I would. Hearing about the Brussels sprouts ice cream, I thought I'd vomit. Tasting it,
probably great.
It was actually pretty good. So go to the richsolution.com and check out. I just want one of the jackholes to try one of these for me and let me know how it tastes. Therichsolution.com and then Get Started and then the free recipes. Maybe that's what Heather Locklear's doing.
What's she doing now?
She looks good. As you know, I've been concerned about her. There's something about Heather Locklear I like.
You brought her up a couple days ago.
I like Heather Locklear. I think seems like a nice person.
She's got a psycho stare like my ex did.
Something
where the top corner of her mouth goes up and she's kind of like, hi.
There's something going on behind those eyes. And she for a while, I didn't think she was going to make it. She was in rehab and now she's at home. She shared a video when it snowed out in LA of her walking through the snow.
She pull a Margot Kidder?
No, she's not naked in somebody's backyard yet.
That's awesome.
But she's apparently she's doing better, which is a good thing. So I was concerned about her.
Okay.
And then yesterday, did you see Luke Perry?
He had a stroke.
Massive stroke. He said 52 years old.
I had a stroke too yesterday about 4 o'clock.
52. The guy's in the hospital.
You see 2 shirtless dudes on the TV. I don't need to see that crap.
So and if you go to was it Us Magazine online? They've done like
is that where you
Luke
do
Perry
your
through
wait
the
a minute,
years.
wait a minute. Is that where you spend your time show prepping?
No.
What is you go to Teen Beat too?
People.
Tiger Beats.
There's nothing. What's wrong with Tiger?
Is Tiger Beat still around?
There's nothing.
Yeah. Is it really?
Maybe. Maybe. Do you remember Bobby Sherman, Isaac?
I have no idea who that is.
Do you remember Partridge? Was it Dave?
Partridge Family?
Yes.
Yes.
You remember them?
I think I love
heard of
you.
Partridge
So
Family. I
what
never watched a single episode.
Oh, they're great.
Oh man,
They're
you're
great.
missing out big time.
They're great.
Did you ever watch Beverly Hills 90210?
No.
Now, which one would you do from that?
I watched cartoons when I was little.
Okay.
Would
Archer?
you do
Archer?
Yeah. Watch Archer.
Hey, it's a wonderful kind of day. That Arthur?
No, Archer.
Archer?
Archer, just the tip Archer.
Oh, okay.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Luke Perry is they've done like a retrospective. It's never good when you open a magazine. There's a retrospective of your career. So I don't know if
wait, why?
Because he had a stroke.
Okay.
So if there is after you've had a stroke, if you open up a magazine and there's like a Luke Perry through the years,
Sure.
or Izzo through the years. That's like the
It's an
that's like the
opportunity.
precursor to an obituary.
It's an opportunity. It's,
I don't
You
know.
know what? He can get ready to come back and be a bestseller now.
So I want to come on your show, Brad.
Oh, Dick Clark.
And I just listen to me. So when I was on 90210, I'm
see.
sorry, I'm drinking water. It's dripping right down my shirt.
When Dick Clark did that, it was so uncomfortable. After he had the stroke, and he continued to
This New Year's Eve.
oh God, that was horrible watching that.
My face looks like Angie Dickinson's vagina.
Oh, it was just so bad watching that. Felt bad for the guy. Anyway, hoping he's doing better.
Dick Clark's dead.
No, I meant Luke Perry.
He's the world's deadest teenager.
Yeah, it's like I said, folks, keeping it light today on a Friday. Why the hell not? We were talking about all the jobs and businesses that were going away. So let's balance that with some good news. Some crazy jobs that'll exist in the future. So if you're losing your job, by golly.
After I get fired today, what can I do, Uncle Brad?
You can become a nostalgist.
There you go.
They are, do you know what a nostalgist is?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
They're interior designers who will be tasked with helping the wealthy elderly design spaces that reflect their favorite decades. Whether it means recreating a 1980s living room or a 1950s kitchen, nostalgists will help recreate happy memories for their clients.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't have a design that reflects the year that your husband beat you in the kitchen in front of your kids.
The career path involves combines roles of therapist, historical researcher, and interior designer.
Interior designer.
Interior designer.
Wow.
Well, what's wrong with being an interior designer?
This motif goes well with your postpartum depression years where you thought about pulling a Susan Smith on your kids.
Number 2.
I want this job.
Well, here's another opportunity you may have to, you may be forced to take. A telesurgeon.
What?
A telesurgeon.
What's a telesurgeon?
It's a surgeon who works on a television.
TV repairman.
No, it's known as a remote surgery. It allows trained surgeons to operate on patients remotely using robotic arms, a master controller, and a sensory system that provides feedback to its users. It's actually in use today. They actually already do this. They go when they're doing, like I guess, the arthroscopic surgery. The difference would be the surgeon's not going to be in the same room with you. You're just going to go in. You're going to lay down on the operating table, and it's going to be like you're on a car assembly line.
Have you had yours yet?
Maybe.
Well, you're 50. You got to have it. Here's my theory. Can't happen to me. 40 happened, and I didn't get the finger at 40, and everyone's like, "You got to get." I'm like, can't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
You ever notice that after you go to the doctor, they find something wrong with you?
Sure.
And
just
then
like your car repairman.
Yes. They always find something wrong. If you don't go to the doctor, there's nothing for them to find.
I'm just here for an oil change, and I got the finger.
Right. So that's why. A third job, a rewilder. You could be a rewilder after you lose this gig. A rewilder will help undo the damage that humans have caused to the countryside. This means you'll be tearing down fences or ripping apart roads and replacing them with forests and natural greenery.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's peaceful. That I can go out there and I don't want to deal with people. That's you're planting trees.
If you want
and nurturing wildlife.
If you're into wildlife management,
that's illegal in most states.
Agriculture and environmental sciences. But remember, what was it yesterday? We talked about one of the lowest paying jobs in government would be out there dealing with the environment, which again is at odds with the whole Green New Deal. We're trying to make everything so green, and then we're not paying anybody squat to go do it. Oh, this one's right up your alley. Number 4 on the list is a garbage designer.
Go ahead.
You'd be great at this. Designers make careers out of perfecting the art of upcycling.
I've done that for the last 2 weeks sitting next to you. I bring my garbage.
This is different than upskirting, which, by the way, is now illegal in England. Upcycling, a way to use trash to create new, better quality items.
Okay.
They will, garbage designers will see
You're
to
an
it.
artist. You're an
Yes,
artist.
pretty much. Well, wasn't it Hillary Clinton that said you should be able to sit at home and find yourself and become an artist a few years ago? I think it was.
I'm waiting for her to do that.
Yeah. No one can find her lately, by the way. Garbage designers will see to it that upcycling attempts are efficient and successful because nothing says efficient and successful like an artist. Designing ways to make
Did
new
you hear
items.
about the starving artist who painted a turkey?
No, I haven't.
There you go. That's it.
That's the.
It's like my
Hold on.
flip.
You should always, when you have a punchline like that, just do that. It takes
Okay.
people's minds away from the fact
Got
the
it.
punchline fell flat.
It's like the poem I wrote and I was published. Fleas. Adam had him. There you go.
See? If you do the bell, people are like, what's the bell? And then they forgot the punchline. That's the beauty of it. That's why the bell's there. A simplicity expert. Not sure you'd be good at this one. They find ways to help businesses streamline and simplify their day-to-day operations.
I did that pretty well on mine. It went under in 3 years. I got rid of a lot of shit.
I could put you out of business in 6 days. They'll be tasked with condensing 3 days of work to half an hour of work or reducing 15 administrative steps down to just 3.
That's pressure. That's pressure, and I can see a lot of irresponsibility in that.
If you're good at math,
no.
If you have an eye for design and
No.
a keen sense of human connection,
no.
Nope. That's
I can't
that is
add.
not
I have
you.
no sense of direction, and I hate people. I'm
Yeah.
here to solve your business problems.
Nah, it's not going to work for you. How about a healthcare navigator?
What is these fancy terms? Healthcare navigator. That's a dietitian, a nutritionist, a personal trainer. Oh no. I'm a healthcare navigator.
Close.
Okay.
It's all right. You go to the hospital, let's say, and what's the biggest the biggest issue when you're either in the hospital or just out of the hospital? It's trying to negotiate A, all the paperwork, and B, all the insurance crap.
Okay.
That's what a healthcare navigator does.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
With the help of a healthcare navigator, patients will have better access to the information. It's about information, basically. Healthcare navigators will have answers to questions regarding procedures and paperwork. They'll also provide support for families struggling to cope with the stress of illness.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, your bedside manner?
No. Oh, God, no. No, I picture a lot of salesmen moving in this job. Yeah, I read your policy, and yeah, you might want to go with us instead. I don't know. I picture that being intrusive, too. And then there's the whole HIPAA law stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, there's that.
I'm not feeling it.
Here's one for you.
Yeah, I'm
this is
Lay
perfect.
it on me.
End-of-life therapist.
Miss, just kill yourself.
Perfect.
You're going to die.
Miss, do me a favor. No. It's the toaster is a bath bomb. Just let it sink in the tub.
As lifespans increase, planning for the last phases of life will become standard practice. End-of-life therapists will act as guides to planning for the years before a client's death. Good grief. How long you got to plan?
This would be me. I'd be on the deathbed whispering in your ear. You were such a disappointment to your old family.
Imagine what you could have done if you'd tried.
No one liked you.
Your kids even hate you.
I don't have any kids. Exactly.
It'll involve being straightforward. Well, you got that. Straightforward but sensitive. Nope, you're not. Nope, sorry. That straightforward but sensitive about ways to make dying a smoother process.
I'm going to keep you alive longer so you can be miserable with me.
You need a background in social work, healthcare, education, and psychology.
I was a bartender and a cop. I've got a degree in psychology.
There you go. You may be perfect, tailor-made for it. A gamification designer. Or is it gamification?
What's a gamification designer?
I have no idea. Let's see. Games make excellent tools for helping people of all ages learn new skills. The gamification designer will combine game logic with everyday activities, events, services, and products to make the world a more playfully challenging place.
You did channel your inner Casey Kasem there.
You have to sell it.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say. These designers may also work with doctors and therapists to create games that help people bounce back from the stress of illness. You got cancer, but at least you're making a game.
There you go.
Gamification designers will become qualified or certified in their fields and develop a background in human motivation and play behavior. That's different than cosplay and role play, though, unless it's like the French maid thing. They'll also learn to translate game design into real-life experiences. This one might be you because I think you could relate to them.
Yeah.
A robot counselor. Robots start to play an even larger role in our lives. Wealthy people will own robots who act as servants or care. Finally, we're going to have another protected class, and it will be robots. People wanting to purchase robots for their homes will work with robot counselors to determine which model is best suited to a family's particular needs.
I'm telling you, did you see the movie Bicentennial Man?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie.
Well, see, if you're a robot counselor in Japan, this takes on a whole different meaning. But yeah. If a robot does not fit with the family, the counselor will be on hand to determine better options and to provide care and customer service.
Yeah. Did you ever stop and think?
Sorry, Sparky, you're going to the
You
scrap
have a
heap.
skill set. You're lucky because you have a skill set to build and design and whatnot. You're actually safe. When the crap does hit the fan, and I talk to a lot of guys who are in IT, and that's a very constantly evolving field. It's extremely competitive, all this stuff.
Yeah.
When the robot, and they said robots are taking over on a daily basis. Look, you got a board right there that's running things versus guys who used to do it years ago. The kiosks at McDonald's. It's going to be a matter of time before we're all out of jobs. Unless people have a hands-on skill set like you, what are we going to do?
Can you shoot a gun?
I can shoot a gun.
There you go. That's a skill.
I can shoot a gun.
You're going to be a fixer in the future.
There you. Ooh.
See? The world will always need fixers.
This is true.
Successful robot counselors will have skill sets similar to those of today's family counselors. No, that eliminates you again. No. This is possible for you. A media remixer. You know what a media remixer is?
I don't think. No, what's a media?
How about you, Isaac? You know what a media remixer is?
DJ? I don't know.
Pretty much takes the job of DJ or VJ to another level by remixing various forms of media into one cohesive new project.
So not creating any original content
Rearranging.
whatsoever.
I guess you could. Well, you beat by virtue of putting these other things
Nothing
together.
is new anymore. We create nothing new.
Not.
Nothing.
Audio, video, images, and augmented reality will be the basis of these projects, ranging from marketing campaigns to wedding entertainment to installation art.
You recycle garbage.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong with that at all. It's interesting. The last job that they are saying here, the 11 jobs, it says thermometer.
Stand outside naked and go, brr, it's cold today. Look at my shrivel.
Literally, that's all it says is thermometer.
Hey, you're sagging there today. Yeah, it's 85 degrees and humid.
So I think we finally found the job for you.
I'm okay
you
with
can
that.
just be a thermometer.
I'm okay with that.
Well, you need a job in the future.
You know where I'm going to be stuck up.
Your headlines are next.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from Townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Some of the leading lights of the modern conservative movement gathered this week in suburban Washington for the annual CPAC conference. There's much talk about the hard left turn taken by the Democrat Party versus the economic success of the Trump administration, the benefits of capitalism over socialism.
3% growth as far as the eye can see. It's the hottest economy in the world. And I'll let the ankle biters just bite our ankles.
White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow. Later this morning, Vice President Pence takes the CPAC stage. Tomorrow, it will be President Trump's turn to speak. And the president, speaking the other day at a military base in Alaska, says he's bullish on fully funding the military.
We've increased your budget from not too much to $700 billion. And then from $700 billion, we went up to $716 billion. And I won't tell you this year's surprise, but the generals are going to be very happy when they hear it because it's going up yet again. Because we have no choice. You know, I'm a cost cutter, but we have no choice. Without a military, what do we have?
The president stopped in Alaska on his way back to Washington from Hanoi and his summit with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Well, the floodwaters receding in California wine country, but not before causing a lot of damage, claiming at least one life. 5 counties under a state of emergency declared by Governor Gavin Newsom. Thousands of buildings, both homes and businesses, were swamped by the high waters. There have been mudslides, and 2 communities were completely cut off. The flood-battered region may not be out of the woods just yet. There is more rain in the forecast. Pakistani officials have brought a captured Indian pilot to a border crossing with India for a handover, a gesture of peace promised by the Pakistani Prime Minister. Wall Street stock futures pointing to a higher open. Right now, Dow futures up 179 points. S&P futures better by 17. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
The Adrian Slade Show. Again, and I've said this in the past, a business does not exist to give you a minimum wage job. You are hired as an employee because in your self-interested quest to earn money, you will then be motivated to help the vision of the business creators and owners who seek their goal, who hired you to help facilitate it. The big business isn't built to provide charity in the form of hiring. They're not there just to give everybody a job. And it isn't a relationship of top-down exploitation of the little guy they've hired. That's what a lot of people think of. Oh, the big business, big corporation, they're running me dry. You know, that's the Sanders look, the Bernie Sanders people. They love to look at business like, oh, I'm a slave to this business. But you know what? Your self-interest to make money is what puts you in a symbiotic relationship with the business that hires you. Both self-interests are from both parties are involved in this situation.
You get great service and you do some good in the world with Patriot Mobile. Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account today. Start saving money, get great coverage, and do a little bit of good because they support companies, organizations, and candidates that you like. It's patriotmobile.com/doc. patriotmobile.com/doc.
The 3, which is a threesome.
Yes.
But a full, I guess, foursome. And then 5-some, and then gangbang.
You're in no man's land.
Yeah.
No, you're in a lot of men's land. A lot of men's.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50. If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50.
The mothership has landed.
Yeah, not for the faint-hearted or the easily offended, might I say.
This show?
What's Stinky say? A new sponsor after the Cleveland Spirit Air debacle? What's he talking about? What's Stinky talking about? New sponsor. Pardon me. Anything else going on the Twitter there?
Yeah, jobs that will never go away from Lori FND on Twitter. Hashtag what I learned today. Casket rentals.
That's true. That's a good point. And who knew that industry even existed? What else are they saying?
Mrs. D. Funt, hashtag what I learned today. Real Brad Staggs has found his worthless jobs in 5 years list. Rewilder, the Earth does that itself for free. So they're talking about the
Rewilder.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Gotcha. All right.
Robert. Okay, hashtag what I learned today. As a veteran LEO, Rants of Izzo should ask Brad Staggs if he's ever been picked up by the fuzz.
No, but I've been swung around by the nipples. Thank you. That was a setup from him, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, was it really?
You've never heard that joke?
No.
You've been
Oh,
picked
is it
up
really?
I
get it.
Picked up by the
I
fuzz?
don't come
No,
from.
but
I don't come. Well, I do come from the era where if somebody dropped their pants, it looked like a chewed piece of Hubba Bubba thrown on the barbershop floor.
Wow.
But I don't. No, that's not today. I get it.
That one's too easy.
I get it.
See, that's the one where you don't have to use the bell because you hit him with right there. He's right between the eyes. Speaking of easily offended in this, although I think the pendulum may be swinging the other way, as it were, the political correctness pendulum. Most Americans think too many people are easily offended. This was a poll done by the Pew Research
You're
Group.
sure testing that by having me sit next to you, aren't you?
Yeah. Remember, what was it? A gamification redesigner? No. You still have a shot. You still have a shot at that. 60% of Americans, pretty close to, say that too many people are easily offended these days over the language that others use.
That started from sponsor issues. So any platform to get any kind of major, what do you call it?
Money?
Money to get out there. You need money. So you have to have sponsors to that. And, comedians are the only people on the planet today who still, stand-up comedians are the only people on the planet who still have the threshold to say literally whatever they want. You can. I'm sorry, but unless you're Michael Richards from Seinfeld,
right?
But their platform is absolutely supposed to be protected for free speech.
Supposed to be.
Right, and they do. They fight for it all the time because once you attack comedy, stand-up comedy, and you can't make fun of people, like I know people get bent out of shape when I say stuff, that's the only platform. You take that same stand-up comedian, you put them in a movie or TV series, all bets are off. You can't. So it's only stand-up comedy is the only platform where people still have that complete, I don't care if you're offended at the fact I made fun of X, Y, and Z.
Which is the way it should be. We should be able to laugh at ourselves. I mean, it's the joke, and it becomes politically correct and the acceptable racist joke of the day. If I say, hey, did you hear about the white guy who bought his wife a wig?
No, I didn't, Uncle Brad.
She was getting bald at the office. Thank you. Now, the original variation of that
why do you have to make fun of my wife? That's well, I don't find any humor in that. That's hashtag me too. I don't find it appropriate that you are on a show that has to do with entertainment that you're going to be talking about a woman being taken sexually advantage of at work.
I didn't say she was being taken advantage of. She may have been a willing participant.
Sure.
8 in 10 Republicans say too many people are easily offended. 21% say that people should be more careful to avoid offending others. But among Democrats, 61% of people should be more careful not to offend others.
You know why? Because it comes back to masculinity. Look, I've got my work cut out for me in anything. Growing up, I was a shorter guy, 5'7", in a world of men who are 6 feet tall. And if I started whining about the fact that I can't reach the top shelf for things at work, so you're not going to employ me, or I can't make the football team, or this because I'm short, then you're gonna lose in life.
Right?
You absolutely have to sit there and say, yeah, my life sucks, but I'm going to work hard at it. I'm going to fight hard at it. We have just a bunch of wimp, male, Democrat, liberal leftists out there who are so ashamed at the size of their little that they can't. You go out there. Just go out there and do it. And I've had way too much coffee this morning again.
Hadn't noticed.
Son of a bitch.
I bring this up because I was looking at one of the I collect old magic props, and one of the at one point I was collecting a bunch of that were theoretically quote unquote offensive, but I thought if I don't collect these, they're going to be destroyed.
Oh, that's a good point.
And Isaac, if you can take my computer full screen here, for those of you listening, I will describe this table.
That's offensive.
It is a magic table from the 1920s.
It's offensive,
and it was called a Chinko table. I know and I'm telling you, and they advertised it. That's what they said. And you, by the way, this will be on eBay.
That's got to be worth money.
Oh, I mean, it's incredible. The things that they would market, they'd so
you got to describe it though. It's a table that is shaped like a person, heavy at the bottom. I'm going to say woman because above the waist there's a little bit of curvature that could be.
Those might be elbows. They might be elbows, folded elbows.
Let's just say don't forget it's Asian, so it's androgynous.
That's true.
You go up, it is clearly an Asian person with slanted eyes at a that's almost 50-degree angle eyes, and then there's the flat top head table.
That's the table head. So. Isaac's in there staring at it in disbelief. But these are things that back in the day, they weren't considered offensive, I guess, or did they? Or at that time, were the Chinese offended by the fact that it was called that?
Who cares? Who cares?
Well, it's interesting to find out how things have changed, how our PC culture has changed things.
It's selective.
It is selective. Oh, it's very selective.
I think you talked about this the other day. It says, how can a generation that grew up, and they're talking about this. Virginia Jackwell says this exact same thing on Twitter. Hashtag what I learned today. Why are snowflakes so offended after they grew up watching South Park and Family Guy?
Right.
So you grow up in that, and it's humor, except when it serves your purposes.
Right. Yes, it's okay to make fun of Trump's tiny hands and his this and his that and everything else, but you can't. As soon as the mirror is turned the other way, everybody gets.
Why would you say that? Why don't
wound
it's
up
offensive?
like a cheap watch, which I hope is offensive to cheap watches everywhere. Guns are another thing that offend people.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Especially if you show up at my house unannounced, you'll be offended by one of my guns. I'll tell you that. Don't
Probably
show
16 times.
Yeah, I shoot now. What does it say on the back? Over my back door. It says, I don't call 911. Nope, I don't depend on them. And where do I find the guns that I covet, the guns that I look at, the guns that that I want to own if I had unlimited funds. TRAguns.com. Tar River Arms is where you'll find Kurt and the gang. It is America's and the world's most convenient gun store. The most convenient gun store really on earth, because you can see the guns in their full glory and 360-degree beauty. You can these are spinners, my friends. These are, yes, thank you. See, that would offend somebody if they knew what it meant. You can spin these guns around in 360-degree virtual space and really get a good look and find out if Kurt gave them a good cleaning. Thank you. Wow.
This is just bell day today.
I'm telling you. Well, it's Friday. No one gives a crap. It's Friday. No. We're just thinking about getting it to the weekend. The Sig Sauer Sig MCX Rattler is still there on the front page, and it is awesome. This is just, I mean, this thing doesn't even have to shoot bullets. It just looks badass sitting there. It's so cool. Go to traguns.com and take a look at it. It's right on the front page, right below the fold there, and you can spin this thing around to your heart's content. That is traguns.com.
Real quick, somebody, this is
too late.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines.
This fits.
Presenting them now. Here's Brad Staggs.
Did you just say this fits?
This fits. Before we get into headlines, there's a Wall Street Journal tweet from 7:45 a.m. today. It says this: if you drive a Subaru, you may want to avoid wearing perfume or a sweater treated with fabric softener. They could prevent the engine from starting. Did they get hacked?
I don't know, but let's cover that after headlines, because that should be interesting.
All right. We got headlines today. As you guys know, this is what's going to happen. Let me explain this to you. Me, as playing Brad Staggs today, I'm going to read you some headlines, and your job, if you're playing at home today, is to spot which one of these is completely fake, false, not true. The rest of them are going to be true. The guys playing behind the glass are going to wind up guessing. Brad's going to guess. Brad has been 2 for 2 the last couple days. I've been 2 for 2 when I first got here.
I'm a trained professional.
Train. Train. There you have it.
Yeah, I didn't say trained. I said trained.
All right. Without further ado, we're going to listen to Izzo just botch this up like my tongue is just fatter than a... Anyways.
Which is why you become so popular.
Pretty much. All right. Yes, actually. I kind of have. All right. These are your headlines for Friday, March 1st, 2019. It's only 14 days until Izzo does his show naked for his birthday. All right. Keto crotch might be the strongest argument for eating carbs yet. Carbs are the rom-rom bad boy of the food pyramid. We're told that they're dangerous and bad for us, but good God, they're so much more appealing than the boneless, skinless chicken breasts in the Letterman jacket. And by the way, carbs may be the only thing keeping the puss from getting rank, which doesn't really work with any of the above analogy. But by now, there's no going back. According to Women's Health, there are complaints circling the internet about, quote, keto crotch, or a strong odor from some vaginas beginning to emit after the dieters cut out carbs. The keto diet also makes your breath smell bad and nail polish remover, as the body burns fat for energy rather than carbs. It goes into ketosis, which causes the body to produce less ketones than normal, including acidotate, beta-hydroxybutyrate, and acetone. It increases ketones and makes for smellier poop, pee, and breath. But apparently, that's not what's making everyone's boxes musty, according to Dr. Jessica Shepard, a gynecologist that says changes in the diets can alter the vagina's pH, and that's what causes the odor. These claims haven't been tested yet, so maybe keto crotch isn't really a thing, and none of these things are exactly scientific as of yet. More studies are expected.
Okay.
All right, moving right along. We have a twofer on this one. These are a twofer Friday. A woman gives birth to a black child and blames her coffee-drinking husband. The events occurred last Thursday at the University Hospital of Valencia in Spain, where a young woman who is white and who was 24 years old gave birth to a beautiful child who weighed 4.2 kilograms. Don't ask me the math. Even though her husband is white also, the baby was born black. After delivery in the room, the young man asked his wife for explanations. I'm not racist. I don't care about the color of the skin, but have you cheated on me? She replied, I didn't cheat on you. I promise. You're always drinking coffee all day, night, every other day. That's the only reason.
That's what we call a fox in the hen house.
I now feel bad for having doubted my partner, he said. It's true that I've been drinking too much coffee lately, and that has been able to influence my sperm in some way. Definitely, I trust my partner. I will not do a paternity test, said the young man a few hours later. Backing up a 2 for 2, white woman gives birth to a black baby, accuses husband of having sex with a black girl. Again, the events happened in a Spanish hospital last Monday, where a white woman was given birth with her husband present in the delivery room. The labor was going smoothly until the baby appeared, causing great confusion. The first medical team thought the baby was darker because of the respiratory failure, and the whole body came out and realized that it was a healthy little black boy. I can't believe when I first read these two articles, I didn't put 2 and 2 together because they were so well written that this could have been the woman who was cheating on the guy.
You think?
I'm reading this going,
You think?
I'm looking for a scientific explanation going, maybe the kid just had an excess amount of melanin.
And again, no wonder you're not
single,
married.
and yeah, you women are good. The exhausted mother opened her arms to receive her newborn son, and when she had it on her chest, she immediately yelled at her husband, "You bastard! I knew you were cheating on me. Look what you've done. Go away." The mother, she's good. The mother started to.
Other than that, he's a great husband.
Sorry. She's jocking Mr. Marcus, and he probably sits there and says, "But honey, I didn't sleep with a woman." Oh my God! Oh, Jerome, dear. The mother started to cry.
Good.
The mother started to cry, so she automatically won the argument, and the husband just stood speechless. See. And this is an unexpected situation. The medical team had to respect the woman's desire, so they invited the man to leave while struggling to hold in their laughs. Come on, man. Hold together. All right. Holy God, you women are good. Man finds his 2-year-long blocked nose was caused by a tooth growing in his nostril. A man can't blame you having an affair with a black woman. A man in Denmark has finally gotten some relief for years of an unexplained nose block when doctors discovered a tooth inside of his nostril. Doctors were shocked to find the rare condition of the 59-year-old who had been complaining about nasal congestion problems, discharge, and a lost sense of smell in his nose. The individual suffered facial trauma when he was young, which had left him with a fracture to his jaw and nose, but the doctor said there was no evidence to suggest the repositioning following the incident was connected to the nasal growth in his nostril. They extracted the tooth. The tooth extraction took place in the University Hospital in Arahis in the ear, nose, and throat facility. After a CT scan, the doctors used an endoscope to perform the surgery. The exact cause of the rare condition is unknown, and only 23 patients have ever been identified throughout the nation between the years of 1959 and 2008.
Well, it'd make it easier to chew on your own boogers.
All right, you son of a bitch, you cheated on me. TV host Pete Hedgeth. Germs aren't real, so I haven't washed my hands in a decade. A Fox News TV host told his viewers live on air that he has not washed his hands in a decade because, quote, germs are not a real thing. The on-air right-wing channel on Fox's breakfast show, Fox and Friends, Pete Hedgeth claimed that he doesn't that germs don't exist because they cannot be seen by the naked eye. The presenter said he improved his health since stopped washing hands because of the way that he inoculated himself. Okay, I'm assuming he's going there. The insanitary habit emerged after co-host Jedediah Bila revealed how Hedgeth has been eating day-old pizza in the studio. And in his defense, the presenter said Pizza Hut lasts for a long time. As a New Year's resolution, Hedger vowed to say things on air that he normally wouldn't say off air. He vowed to say things on air that he would normally say off air. Excuse me. That's your view. If you can't say it on air, don't say it at all. It is unclear whether or not his viewers were grateful after his lack of hand washing emerged, and he was described as gross and disgusting on Twitter.
Okay.
Los Angeles church says nuns embezzled money from school to cover trips to Vegas. Los Angeles, 2 nuns who worked for decades at a Catholic school in California have embezzled substantial amounts of money from tuition and other funds and used it to pay for their gambling trips to Vegas. The embezzlement from St. James Catholic School in Torrance appears to have gone for as long as 10 years, a spokesperson for the Archdiocese has said. During that time, Sister Mary Margaret Kruper, as well as the school's principal, Sister Lana Chang.
Sister who? Mary Margaret who?
Your days of dreaming of fingering sweet Mary Frances Crotch in her pretty pink panties are over.
I'm sorry, what?
Full Metal Jacket, the first 36 minutes.
Sorry.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
See, Ron gets it.
Uh-huh.
Your ass belongs to core. Why? See, I'm not going to be racial, but listen to this. During that time, Sister Mary...
By the way, whenever somebody says, I'm not going to be racial, but listen to this, you're about to be racial.
Sister Mary Kruper was the school's principal, and Sister Lana Chang. So they went to Vegas. Who do you think initiated that one? They taught the 8th grade students. Both retired early this year. The amount has exceeded as much as $500,000. Cooper worked for the school for 29 years and retired in June, according to the church's newsletter. Chang had taught there for 20.
That's not like the church doesn't have the money.
Police has been notified. South Carolina woman stabs her spouse with a squirrel over an argument over a beer.
Who hasn't that happened to, right?
41-year-old South Carolina man was stabbed and left bloodied early Christmas morning after his spouse attacked and stabbed him with a ceramic squirrel for not bringing home beer. Helen Williams, 44, was arrested on December 25th and charged with criminal domestic violence and a high and aggravated nature, according to the station. North Carolina police were called to home around 12:20 a.m. That's Izzo Day, by the way. That day for domestic disturbance. And the incident reports that officers arrived to find a man with a large amount of blood in his shirt due to a large, deep laceration from his left shoulder to his chest area. He also had cuts on his face. The victim told police he went to go to the store to get beer, but returned home because the store was closed. According to the report, Williams had made the offender mad by not bringing home beer. She allegedly hit the victim over the head with a ceramic squirrel and stabbed him in the chest with it. Police say that victims claimed he fell and cut himself to avoid her from being arrested.
That was nice of him, at least.
He was taken to the hospital for treatment. She was taken.
He didn't want to live alone.
Nope, she was taken for custody.
Okay.
Those are your headlines.
All right, so give us a quick recap there.
Hang on, my screen refreshed. We have the squirrel stabber. You've got the gambling addicted nuns. You have the TV host who doesn't believe in germs, doesn't wash his hands. Man finds a tooth in his nose. Woman gives birth to a black child. 2 women give birth to a black child. One accused her husband of having sex with a black woman, and the other accused her husband of drinking too much coffee. And keto crotch, how going the keto diet makes your box smell bad.
Okay. I think I may know which one it was. Isaac, you got any idea?
Yeah.
Don't say it.
I'm not.
Don't say it.
I'm not.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Now, I may have had too much coffee myself here. Actually, if you go to American Pride Roasters, speaking of coffee, and if you do drink too much coffee and you end up giving birth to a child of color, that would be an interesting story, and we would want to be the first to break it here on your Daily Mojo. But I did locate Thank You Stinky, the coffee drop. Actually, I found the coconut coffee drops at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. DM said he was going to send some more down here, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't come next day like I had requested, but that's fine. I mean, it's whatever. The French roasted coffee beans and cinnamon finely ground and mixed together with melted milk chocolate, butterscotch, and coconut to form the perfect bite-sized treat.
Delicious.
Oh, I could sit in a bathtub of those melted for days. They say that's actually the cure for keto crotch. Just sit in a bathtub full of melted chocolate and coffee. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com, and you'll find them halfway down. Apparently, I'm blind because they were sitting right there the whole time. APR Coffee is the official coffee, of course, of
Cleaning Out My Colon.
And your Daily Mojo. So, all right. So, fake story. I'm going with, and we just got a text from Adam says Pete was battle left from So yeah, Adam, I don't think that was the fake one either. I think the fake story was the guy with the tooth in his nose. What do you think, Isaac?
I'm gonna go with the woman that gave birth to a black baby and accused his husband of drinking too much coffee.
As that one blows my mind, that one's actually absolutely true.
What?
Dude, think about women. You've never dated a crazy woman that you are so infatuated with, and she will tell you anything, and you'll believe it.
Yes.
No. Wow. Oh, yeah.
They will. Yes. And it goes both ways, by the way. Men will tell some pretty tall tales, too.
Oh,
I do.
Yes.
I read that story, putting myself in that guy's shoes going, I understand what you believe. No, it was the keto crotch. It's the smelly box from.
Damn it! I missed it. How could?
All right.
So you do have the guy had a tooth in his nose.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can picture that. Dude, we were talking Stephen King before the show. What was the book? The Dark Half, where he had the twin growing in his brain.
Oh yes.
No, that's like that. You assimilate your twin.
Wow. Okay.
We have birthdays today. Justin Bieber's 24.
25.
24.
25.
Whatever, dude.
Ooh, come on. I want to see
I like his last album. I like his last album.
What's an album?
Yeah, no. Mark Paul Glosser from Saved by the Bell. He's 44 today.
Which one did he play?
Zach.
Did he go on to do anything else?
He's on some cop show on TV.
Well, what's his name?
Paul Michael.
Yeah, Gosseler.
Gosseler, thank you.
Yeah, he's been in several things. You'll know him if you've seen him.
Really?
He's a blonde. Yeah, he was dating Kelly
Zach
Kapowski.
is who he played, the blonde-headed main guy.
I never slept with him.
No, you didn't.
I swear. As far as you know.
I may have, but you didn't.
That's right.
All right.
Alan Thicke, who's dead. It's his birthday today.
Right.
You know how many theme songs he wrote for television? You would know this. This is your alley. He wrote a bunch of theme songs from the 80s, like Family or Full House and all those other ones. Yeah.
How many did he write? I mean, I know,
I
but
don't
I
know.
just for the rest of the
I have no idea how many.
audience. You said, you said he wrote a bunch. So I'm just hoping that you know.
No, not at all.
I mean, you wouldn't just throw a false fact out there.
Well, he wrote more than 3, right? That's a bunch.
That's a few. Technically, you have a couple is 2, a few is 3.
What's a bunch? 4 bananas? 4 bunch?
5? A bunch of bananas. Yeah, 5, I would say 4 or 5.
Then he easily wrote 4 or 5.
All right, so he wrote a bunch of bananas.
Do you write the Courtship of Eddie's Father?
Nah.
All right. Ron Howard's 84. Harry Belafonte. Oh, jump in the line is 91. And Don Lemon. I hope he doesn't live to see another birthday. No, that's not true. He's 52.
Your Friday leftovers are coming up next. This, your Daily Mojo.
White meat lover.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Senator Kamala Harris is throwing her support behind sex workers. Can that be true? Yes, and here's why. Not unlike Hillary Clinton, who at first supported marriage only between a man and a woman, but changed her stance to support same-sex marriage when she realized it was to her advantage to do so, Harris is following in Hillary's footsteps. As a former prosecutor, Harris took the stance that both prostitutes and their Johns should be arrested and prosecuted. In her 2009 book, Smart on Crime, Harris said, quote, "Smart always starts with enforcing the law. We must arrest the prostitutes as well as the pimps and the Johns." Fast forward to 2019 and a presidential bid in 2020, Harris is finding out that those who work in the sex trade don't appreciate her position. A former sex worker said of Harris, quote, "There are lots of good reasons to root for Kamala Harris, but the fact that Harris was an active force behind a campaign that endangered the lives of sex workers makes it understandably difficult for people with experiences in the sex trades to throw her our support." Not to worry, Harris has already come up with a solution. Harris is now saying that she is in favor of decriminalizing sex work, but with a few qualifiers that would prevent anyone from hurting another human being or profiting off of their exploitation. Harris said, quote, "When you're talking about consenting adults, we should consider that we can't criminalize consensual behavior." Well, I guess some would say that Harris has come a long way from the day when she tried to convince the public that she was a hard-nosed prosecutor. Even tough prosecutors and senators can learn to be more flexible when there's an upcoming election at stake. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
The Daily Mojo.
Kay Harris over on the Twitter, front door in Texas. It's barricaded. What does it say on the front there? Trespassers will be shot. Yeah, shot again. Mojo Jedi.
Let me ask you a question about that completely, because that one actually irritates me a little bit. So this is a little serious. So you've seen that sign. Trespassers will be shot. And survivors will be shot again. Seen that? Would you ever have a problem with that if a police officer in your town was holding that sign up and posted it on social media while she was giving the camera taker a middle finger?
Oh, say that again. If I'm a cop,
if you know I'm a cop in your town, right? I patrol your streets. You
Right,
trust me.
right.
And on my social media site, on my Facebook, you see me holding a picture
Right.
of that sign that says trespass or violent trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again, and I'm giving the finger like this.
Right. You're a cop.
And I'm a cop.
It may be a double standard, but I think we end up. Cops are supposed to be the solution to the problem of the break-in, and I think what they're saying. Would I be offended by it?
Would you really trust that person whose mindset who holds that sign up?
I think. Well, it's kind of like the sign over my back door. Damn it! I don't call 911.
Yeah, I don't. That's somebody from my old town actually had that picture up there, and I went, "Why would that person be allowed to be a police officer?" I had a real problem with that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I would have a problem. I think for whatever reason, yes, it may be what would be considered a double standard, but I think we hold police officers up to a higher standard.
Yeah.
And which I think we should. Mojo Jedi said Izzo was in Alan Thicke's band.
Yeah, no, we were a tribute to Paul Anka, and I had to do
my baby.
I had to do the rant. Did you ever hear Paul Anka's rant? It was Paul Anka, right? Who because guys get into their shirts, they didn't get their shirts. Don't make a maniac out of me, but he goes, "Don't make an effing maniac out of me." It's a very famous rant. He rants for like 18 minutes of the band. Oh, it's brutal. And
I haven't heard that one.
It's got a lot of F-bombs in there, but so you can't play it. But man, it's brutal. He is
Really?
going off on his. It's Paul Anka. I got to look.
Having my baby, Paul Anka? It doesn't sound like him. But,
Hang on. Well, Paul Anka wrote "My Way."
Okay, just
The Frank Sinatra song.
So as part of the whole healthy lifestyle thing, I've been trying to, instead of use when I drink coffee or need something sweetened, I've been trying to use this maple sugar from MoJoWildRice.com. And I looked it up, and it actually is. It's better for you than your processed sugars, which is a good thing. It has a lower honey and maple sugar have a lower glycemic index value than sugar. I have no idea what that means. I just know that it's better for me because processed sugar is from the devil and the pit of hell.
I'm posting this on Twitter and in. Maybe check.
So if you go to MoJoWildRice.com, not only will you find the fabulous wild rice treats from the Northwoods of Minnesota, which are absolutely incredible, but you'll also find the whipped honeys, and the maple sugars, and the maple syrup, and the whipped clover honey, and the whipped blueberry honey. It is all fantastic. You can get maple sugar in an 8-ounce bag too. That's what I call a meal right there. MoJoWildRice.com is where you'll find all of these fabulous treats from the Northwoods of Minnesota. And I'm telling you, this is it's part of me trying to be better to myself. Because
I've seen you.
God knows.
I've seen you please yourself.
Izzo's not going to be better to me, so it has to be me. By the way, MoJoWildRice.com is officially this morning the sponsor of this vintage edition of Doc Thompson's Friday Leftovers.
And now, Doc Thompson presents the Friday Leftovers.
Deputies in Hernando. Oh, I'm sorry that I missed
Wow.
it. Hang on. Sorry, I just launched right into that. These are the great stories we did not get to earlier in the week, but we will get to them now. Wow. Deputies in Hernando County. Hernando County is in South Carolina. I'm sorry. Oops, that's
I haven't
Florida.
been to that state.
It's Florida, actually.
Ah, it's Florida. This is going to make much more sense then.
Deputies in Hernando County, Florida.
Yes.
Say a man shoplifted a pair of shoes from Kohl's.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't difficult for the cops to determine his identity because before he stole the shoes from Kohl's, he was in a job interview at Kohl's. So he went for a job interview at Kohl's. On the way out, he decided to steal some shoes.
I want to support the guy because he's out there looking for some honest work.
Right.
But he's stupid.
Yeah. Minutes after his job interview, 24-year-old Dominick Breedlove.
Well, there you go.
Started looking at a display of women's shoes on the way out of the store.
Wait a minute. This is getting interesting now.
He left the store and then returned with a Kohl's bag from a previous trip.
Right.
Went over to the shoe rack, put some shoes in the bag, and then attempted to walk out with the Kohl's bag as if he had purchased the shoes.
He was trying to pull one over on him.
Now, before I can ridicule this or rule on it,
yes,
because it seems like he was being dumb.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
And doing something inappropriate and probably illegal. It seems that way. But before I can rule on this, I need to know what they discussed in the interview.
Oh, that's a good point.
Did they say anything about an employee discount if hired?
Right.
Because that could be very confusing. Mr. Breedlove.
Yes.
We're thinking about you for this
That'd
position.
be fabulous. I would love to work at your particular company.
Now, we can discuss compensation. One of the nice things is once hired, we do have an employee discount plan.
Oh, good. I love to buy things with my employee discount.
So you'd get this employee discount that everybody gets after your probationary period or something like that.
Yes, that'd be great.
So if they had that discussion, and it was not clear that an employee discount is for people who actually become employees.
Oh, wait, I have to be an employee before I get the employee discount.
That's
that doesn't seem...
And the employee discount is not 100%.
Oh, what the hell good is the discount then? I mean, for crying out loud, it's hardly worth my time.
He's not British, but
he is now. With a name like Breedlove, you have to be British.
See, but so there could be some confusion if they did not spell out the employee discount is not 100%, and it is only for people. It's not for prospective employees.
Right. It's
possible future potential employees. It's for employees, and usually after a probation, if they didn't spell that out.
Was it specified applicants are not eligible?
There it is.
See? That's the kind of wording you need to make sure you have in your placement ads.
So I think my ruling on this will be that he's probably guilty.
Being a dumbass.
Yes. But I'm going to need more information. Didn't matter. Store security called the sheriff when they saw him stuff it in the bag. They arrested him on his way to his car.
Well, where else was he going to put the shoes?
And you didn't ask the most important question.
Was he hot?
It's not the question.
Did he? What? He stuffed something in the bag, but what about the shoes?
No.
What's the question?
Did he get the job?
Did he?
No, he didn't.
Well, for crying out loud.
He did not get the job.
Then he's not getting the discount either.
Hi, it's Dominick Breedlove calling. I'm just curious. You interviewed me a couple of days ago.
Your voice sounds different. Yes.
Hello, I'm Dominick Breedlove.
I recognize you now.
Yes, that's right. You may recall the interview a week ago Tuesday.
Yes, I do remember that.
We scheduled an interview.
Yes,
do you recall?
Yes, I remember all of that.
That's right, and I was looking for employment. Do you recall?
Right, you remember that.
We discussed the employee discount. Do you recall? And I have not gotten a call back from the store about a follow-up interview or when I should start.
Well, we actually can't hire you because of your theft record here. It says you have a police record.
I have no police record.
No, apparently you tried to steal a pair of our shoes.
I mean, aside from that.
That's that's really all we need. Mr.
But isn't that acceptable? I mean, I'm part of the family now, right? You're allowed to steal from family. Family looks the other way.
I don't know how they
jolly
do
good,
things
jolly good.
on your side of the pond, but here we look down upon.
Well, it makes that rogering I'm about to get seem all for naught.
No, that'll cost you some money. It's not for naught.
Pro criminal tip number 3802. A job interview does not make you invisible to security cameras.
Which is going to come as a surprise to some people.
I thought as long as I get interviewed, I'm invisible to those things.
You would think.
Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania prison officials say that moments after 36-year-old Thomas Lee Williams was released from their prison, he stole a car.
Well,
from the prison parking lot.
How was he going to get home?
He attacked a woman, stole her car, with her 1-year-old grandson in the back seat.
Yeah.
This prompted a chase. He crashed about 15 minutes later, ran into the woods, and was quickly apprehended.
Okay.
Both the boy and his grandmother are fine.
There's some good news. That's good.
Hey, listen, learn my lesson. Hey, security guard Stevens, I don't ever want to see you again.
Yeah,
Good time, you see?
Yeah, see, the problem
is... See, the funny thing is, normally you'd say, hope to see you sooner,
right, but I
don't
really
want to.
Don't want to.
Not that I don't like you, because I don't want to be in prison.
It hurts.
Hey, seriously, guys, thank you.
Absolutely.
I know it's been a rough stay, but thank you very much for making it, and I've turned over a new leaf.
We just want to make sure that you have everything you need to carry on in life.
Is that your F-150 in the park? What do you drive there, Officer Stevens?
I have a Monte Carlo. I have a
interesting.
Yeah, it's a '78 Monte Carlo. It's a very nice car.
It's like And what? Listen, how's he getting home?
You know, no, see, he's just a dumbass. Can't. There's no defense. None.
You at least steal a car from a couple parking lots.
He wandered down the street just a little bit. No wonder these people are in prison. They're stupid.
40-year-old Floridian Travis Howard was arrested after rear-ending another vehicle who was stopped at a light.
See, I got to ask, though.
Is he hot?
Is he? Well, actually, the question I was going to ask is, we're talking about cars.
He rear-ended another car with his car,
just making
or the
sure.
car he was driving. Howard told Lee County deputies he couldn't remember how the crash happened, and then handed the officers a hotel card when they asked for his license. Here's my room key. You see where this is going, Brad?
It actually could go one of two ways.
This would indicate you get in an accident, and they ask for your driver's license, you hand them your room key.
Yeah, you're either coming on to the officer or you're drunk.
Yeah, he refused to take a breathalyzer.
See?
Is that helping you out any?
You hadn't thought about the coming on to the officer part, had you?
No, and I forgot to ring the bell on that up.
Exactly.
Failed a field sobriety test then.
He was hammered, wasn't he?
And he was arrested on DUI charges.
Yeah, I figured if he wasn't hitting on the cop, he was hammered.
While in the back of the deputy's car, Howard reportedly said, "Uber, when we get to my room, can I just go to bed?"
He thought he was in an Uber.
Right.
Now that's gold.
Yes. He said that just before being informed that he was going to jail.
So had they cuffed him yet?
He has been arrested 5 times this year for DUI.
He's trying not to make it a habit, though. You know,
You got to get it out of your system. I think we all recognize that, right?
It's that you get the song stuck in your head, so you just listen to it over and over to try to get it out of your head. Yeah, with the arrest thing, he's maybe just trying to get it out of his system so he doesn't have to be arrested anymore.
Florida well represented in the Friday leftovers today.
It's the sun down there.
58-year-old Floridian Philip Daly and a 47-year-old woman were caught in flagrante delicto.
What should we call her? Doesn't matter.
I'll let you decide after you hear the story.
Okay.
58-year-old man, a 47-year-old woman caught in flagrante delicto. Now, remember that means caught in the act, and it's usually referencing a sexual act.
Aha!
How would they have been caught? What does that mean?
Well, I would have
give me a scenario where someone would get caught having sex.
You could be caught having sex if you were in a place where normally you wouldn't or shouldn't be having sex, and there are people milling about or wandering by and see you having sex.
A bicycle cop caught them.
Yeah, that would mean we're in a place we shouldn't be.
As the 47-year-old woman was performing a sexual act on Philip Daly on the sidewalk next to a busy street. In the middle of the day.
Some people say that's wrong.
And some say love. It is a hunger.
Right? That leaves your soul to bleed.
The cop noticed the man lying on his back on the sidewalk, middle of the sidewalk, splayed there, with the woman on top of him. As the cop got closer, he was like, well, that looks a bit damned irregular.
That's not CPR.
As he got closer, he was like, oh my gosh. She saw that the woman was, well... in flagrante delicto.
Yeah. That's not how you do CPR. Just so you know,
it's the other end. He's not an inflatable.
No.
They were interrupted and taken to jail.
That kind of ruins the moment too. You know, if you've ever had that happen to you when you're there on the sidewalk.
If you're the cop, do you let him finish up?
You know, it depends on what kind of day the cop was having.
Now, if finish up means 20 minutes, no, I'm not. I don't have time for that.
No, that's just rude. I mean, if they're giving you time, just wrap things up.
Right. But if you're the cop and you're like, it looks like they're almost done here, it's only going to be a few more seconds.
Yeah.
What's the amount of time you as a cop are willing to stand there and wait for this to wrap up? Because it's going to be an easier arrest.
I say it's the less than the time of a pre-roll commercial on a YouTube video. Because you're getting pretty annoyed at the end of that YouTube commercial, right?
Well, I mean, a lot of them are 15.
Right, so I'm 15 seconds. I say you give them...
But I hit skip as soon as 5's over.
So
on the ones
let's
you
meet
can.
in the middle. I say you give him 10 seconds to finish up.
That's a long time to stand on the street and right now.
She could check her text messages. She could check her email. There's so many
you
things.
call in. You call.
You should.
1 Adam 12, Unit 7. 1 Adam 12, 1 Unit 7. See the man.
Yes. Unit 7. Unit 7, go.
Right. Okay.
And then you explain what you're seeing and that it's not CPR.
Okay, 10 seconds. I'll give you that.
Could they use that defense?
What's that?
I thought it was giving him CPR.
Probably not, because both of them have a long, long history of arrests, mostly for open container and trespassing. So, Brad, how does the sidewalk loving happen? They've obviously been together a long time because they have this long history of being arrested together.
They're not married.
Oh.
Couldn't be. Yeah,
but they've been together a long time.
Yes, yeah, but they're not
it's
married.
It's different?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Because
They're
I was
having
like,
sex.
there's a lot of married guys who would tell you that, maybe they don't spend enough intimate time as much as they would like.
Right. That they would like to spend more.
And that's in the privacy of their home. This gentleman was walking down the street and was like...
He loves her. He loves her. He had to have some of that right now.
And she was like, absolutely. Oh, man, am I.
That is what... Look, they had a very strong, a deep relationship.
Okay, well,
they had a sturdy relationship. They built on a base of friendship and sidewalk sex.
A woman posted an internet story recently about a date she had. She posted, this guy was like, wear a black dress, I'll surprise you. So I was like, oh, how romantic. Okay. So he picked her up, and she said, things got off to a great start. We were chatting as we drove along. And then things got a bit weird when she noticed they had pulled into a funeral home and crematorium.
What's so weird about that?
She thought that his car had broken down or was having some trouble. I think this is in the UK. She was like, is something wrong with your car? He said, nah, just really needed someone to come to this thing with me, and I thought, you wouldn't come if I told you, so I just told you to wear the black dress. He was going to his grandmother's funeral.
Wow. That's brilliant. Did she stay with him?
She said she wanted to leave, but she felt that she would look bad if she didn't.
This is the perfect scenario. He did this absolutely right.
Now, when they walked in, he introduced her to everyone by a name that was not hers. It was the name of a woman he had been dating that none of them had met. But apparently he and the woman had broken up, so he's like, this is Shelley.
Okay, so he didn't want to be embarrassed. All right.
So she stayed for the service. She said immediately afterwards she didn't make it any further. They went to like a wake type thing or a gathering. She demanded that he take her home as soon as they left the funeral crematorium.
So see, it worked. So they went back to her place. She wanted it. Did you see what she was wearing?
So the message was, wear a black dress.
Yes.
And I'll surprise you.
Surprise.
My grandmother's funeral, surprise.
She's dead. So that was he didn't lie. He did not lie.
He did not lie.
He was the honest. You have to defend him in this situation. He never said that they were doing anything
clever.
Specific.
Clever, yeah.
Yes, she should marry him.
Missouri cops claim that a 43-year-old woman by the name of Amy Nicole Perino punched a man, then hit him with a belt, a brass plate, even a cell phone, when he would not orally stimulate her.
He wouldn't talk to her? Why wouldn't he talk to her? I don't understand.
It's not what we're getting at.
But what do you mean? I mean,
sexually.
He wanted her.
He would not orally.
He was supposed to talk dirty to her?
No, he was supposed to perform a sexual act on her. And when he didn't...
Oh, that!
Yeah. When he didn't, she repeatedly punched him, hit him with a belt, a brass plate, a cell phone, and others. Here's how it all went down. She got undressed and chased the man around the home. It says home, but I'm thinking trailer.
Yeah, most likely, yes.
Before pushing him to the ground and sitting atop him. Trying to clean this up here.
Uh-huh.
Then, while strategically situated, she commanded him to perform in a manner that would leave her orally pleased.
First question.
Yes, over in the corner, Brad Staggs from MoJo 50. Yes.
Could he hear the stereo?
Well, allow me to continue.
Okay. Good.
He asked her, leave me alone. When that didn't do it, he said, I don't want to do anything sexual with you. That's when she began to beat him up. He told the cops that when she was on top of him, he was briefly unable to breathe. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, he couldn't hear the stereo, could he? Nope.
And was scared to death.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to feel his pain on this one.
She was charged with sexual abuse and domestic assault. She was also hit with a third charge after smearing fecal matter on the cell walls and breaking a jailhouse phone.
Wow. She was having a big old Saturday night, wasn't she? I'm going to make sure I get this right. She's not the type you want to marry, right? She's the type you just want to date?
I'll let you decide if she's the type you want to date.
Okay.
I'll let you decide if she's...
Holy crap, is that That's not a woman?
Yeah.
That's a woman?
Brad?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to take the beating?
Oh,
or
hell yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking prison rape over that right there.
Yep, exactly. It's like Danny Trejo had sex with Yoda and the baby was raised by a water buffalo. That's
not to say she was attractive, because she's not.
It's like you crossed Grandpa Simpson and Dennis Franz and a wad of discarded chew.
Don't be so mean to
It's
Dennis
like
Franz.
Pepe the Frog gave birth to Roseanne Barr's baby, and it was possessed by a voodoo queen.
There's a bad side, too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes, she is not a...
No,
it's like a mad scientist combined Billy Idol's DNA with a catcher's mitt.
Yes.
In 1893.
It's ugly married ugly. And they had a little,
does it justice.
They had a little baby, and it was ugly, too.
It's like David Spade was the surrogate mother for a llama and a linebacker.
By comparison, Janet Reno is hot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hot. How's Nancy Pelosi looking right about now, huh? Huh? Much better.
Here's the thing. I can't decide if the profile or the straight-on shot, her mugshot, is worse.
It's so misshapen is the real issue here.
See, the straight-on shot, she looks bad, and she looks like she might be a big girl, but unattractive, right? But then the profile also makes her look frumpy.
Yeah, it really kind of adds insult to injury. She doesn't have a good side anywhere. Wow. That poor man.
How you feeling now?
We need to start a GoFundMe page for that poor man. He needs some relief.
I stand with him.
Wow.
26-year-old Rocky Dumas. It may be dumbass.
That remains to be seen.
Of Nebraska. Was driving his mom's 2005 Buick Rendezvous when he veered...
It's dumbass. He's driving
his mom's 2005 Buick Rendezvous when he veered off the road into the yard of a residence and struck a tree so hard that it uprooted. The car didn't stop until it hit a retaining wall. So he was going pretty fast.
Okay, yeah.
Dumbass quickly fled the scene, but was immediately found by police. He explained to the cops that the real problem was that the wipers didn't work on the car.
He couldn't see.
Right.
Okay.
Therefore, he was forced to, quote, drive like Ace Ventura with his head out the window.
He had to see. Oh, well, he was trying.
Despite the explanation, he was busted for careless driving, leaving the scene of an accident, driving with the suspended license, and DUI in possession.
And having a stupid name.
I mean, Brad, He didn't crash because of the drugs and alcohol.
No.
It was the wipers.
Yes. I mean, that's easy to see. Frighteningly enough, with the exception of uprooting the tree, I've done something similar.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you later. We don't want to talk about that now. There was a tree involved in a car and a woman. It's the woman's fault.
It is. Mm-hmm. There's a woman to blame?
Oh, there's always a woman to blame.
I am going to quickly tweet out. Some people I'm sure want to know see the picture of the woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the woman from the previous story. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see that, and that's where the disconnect is. You said woman, and then you look at that picture, and that's not the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah, tainted things are sleeve something. Already had it out there, so I'm just going to go ahead and retweet that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is her picture. Tell me I did not describe her well. Okay.
Okay. Yes, you sure did.
A Bridgeport, Connecticut police officer was flagged down by a man seeking help while on Stratfield Road. The man told he was one of four men. He was standing out. The other three men are in the car.
Right.
He told the police officer that he needed help. They needed directions to get back to the highway.
Okay, that's a man asking for directions. I applaud him. That rarely happens.
Well, these are younger men.
Right.
Four younger men who don't know how to find their way to the highway. Is there any way they could have found their way to the highway in today's world?
The map in the glove box. They could unfold the big
younger
map.
Younger men that I would think they would know.
They could turn on, if they had one of those TomTom thingies that...
from 20 years ago. Yes, there's a more modern version.
Some sort of a device.
Yeah, their phone. They could have just looked for the directions on their phone, but they didn't.
You can find
they just sat on the side of the road and, hello, police, hello. They waved down a police officer. And the man said, on behalf of his friends, hey, we just need to get to the highway. Can you give us directions to the highway? The officer began to give them directions when he noticed something odd. Beyond the fact that four youths wouldn't know how to find directions, he noticed what he believed was the smell of marijuana emanating from the vehicle.
That'll get you every time.
The man, named Donovan Green, handed the officer a small bag of a leafy green substance and admitted, yeah, it was marijuana.
But did he follow with the requisite? That's not mine. I don't know how he got in my pocket.
Oh, he just, was hoping the cop would, let him off, that type thing. It didn't. The cop, searched the vehicle, and he also found 23 unopened boxes of Rogaine, an unopened package of Prilosec, 3 packages of Docalax, 4 bottles of Aleve, all determined to have been recently stolen from a CVS pharmacy.
Wow, I was going to say, that's going to be a hell of a party.
Yeah, so you got the Rogaine, Prilosec, Docalax, which is a laxative.
Stool softener.
Right, and 4 boxes of Aleve.
Yes, that's a hell of a party right there.
Listen, I don't know what you Utes are up to, but count me out.
You've never been to a Docalax rave? You ain't lived.
Shit, I hear those are great.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from Townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Secretary of State Pompeo says President Trump was right on target when he suggested that North Korea demanded much while offering little in return at the just-concluded nuclear summit in Vietnam.
He said they basically asked for full sanctions relief. That's true. They basically did ask for that. That was in exchange for some relatively undefined but a scope that President Trump didn't think was adequate to justify that level of economic sanctions relief from the world.
The summit ended early with no deal. The North denies asking for total sanctions relief. In any event, Pompeo says he's ready for a resumption in talks with Pyongyang.
We are anxious to get back to the table so we can continue that conversation that will ultimately lead to peace and stability.
But North Korea has said that dictator Kim Jong-un may be through talking. The premier gathering of conservatives from across the country will hear from Vice President Pence this morning. He'll be addressing the CPAC conference in suburban Washington. Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah telling the gathering that he's shocked to hear the left suddenly so concerned about the separation of powers.
Where was their outrage over the violation?
Hey, Matt.
Check 1, 2, check.
Oh, Roman, you're wrong.
All right, those of you on Facebook and YouTube are hearing us test with CPAC Group. However, Matt is not there, so I will test with him later.
Spending tumbled in December, dropping by 0.5%, the biggest decline in 9 years, reported by the Commerce Department. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing to a higher open. Dow futures up 159 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give
I've
yourself
got a gazillion people walking up to the booth.
Okay, you're there, though?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I just didn't have the headphones on. I didn't even know what time it was. Sorry.
That's all right.
I've had 12 conversations already this morning.
All right, you're on Facebook and YouTube still. Just remember that, please.
Oh, well, hello, Facebook and YouTube from CPAC.
Yeah, you're really, really loud.
Just testing.
It's like it's rattling loud.
Oh, let me, I'll turn this,
turn
hold
your
on.
mic input down a little.
That's what I'm doing right now. How's that?
Perfect.
All right. I'm testing. I have no time. Can you hold it? Can you come back?
If Sam shows up, just tell her I'll be back. I'm going to listen to the Vice
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
So we got about a minute left, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, there are
Sounds
just
good.
people walking. I mean, hey,
I know. Tons of people.
Dog. Yeah, it's a lot busier today than it was yesterday.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing you. So
Good.
we're good to go for next hour.
Good. Hey, let me test these other mics real quick. Let me grab this
Okay.
other one. You cannot hear me. Hold on here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hear me? Yep. All right, there's that one.
That one can be turned down a little bit too.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
You can turn those other two mics down just a little.
All right, I did. I turned the blue one already down, the other last one. So those are the guest mics. So we're
Okay.
good.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a good one. We'll see you in an hour.
See you, Facebook and YouTube.
Plus, they're pretty fun to work with, too. So why don't you give DiaThrive a chance to show you there's a better way to manage your diabetes? They're so convinced that you'll love their service that they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code MATT, that's M-A-T-T, at checkout. Be sure to head out to the web right now and check these guys out. It's DiaThrive.com.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
Mothership has landed.
All right, the downside, of course, to asking for your comments and your questions, your criticisms, and your concerns with the hashtag What I Learned Today is that we always hear from Stinking Duck. It's not a vintage Friday leftovers when we hear the story of oral stimulation of the troll woman every day in your promo. That happens to be some of the one of the best lines, however, in the history of the spoken word. You have a baby who was Danny Trejo and Roseanne Barr.
That promo hasn't been up on our site in a month. We did run it for quite a while, yes, but it hasn't been there for a while.
Stinking Duck, we know where you live.
Thank you, Stinking Duck.
He's getting pissed.
We'll find you. We will find you. It won't be pretty. What is pretty is the selection, and I have to commend Ron, the guy behind the glass, for his incredible dedication, his eye for detail, which is odd because of the wonky eye, but all of the incredible products over on the MoJo 50 website under Shop, and then Doc Thompson, the limited edition Doc Thompson coffee mugs and the T-shirts and the pillows and the posters. I may actually want one of these pillows, which, by the way, I have to buy one if I want one, just so you know.
Wait, you were giving me grief about the damn throw pillow, and now you want one?
Did I say that? I don't know.
Yes.
Did I say that? Were you listening?
We can go back and get that.
I don't know if I said that or not.
No, you gave me grief about it. But you know who bought one?
Who?
Adam Rich.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
We sold
because
a lot of those pillows. People like that because they'll just, because on one side of it's our logo, the other side of it's Doc. They'll set it there.
Well, it's great when you're sleeping at night. You put it between your knees. So you can see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? By the way, for those of you who had noticed, the sale is still up there. Even though Ron said it was going to end on the last day of February, it's still
That's
up
right.
there.
Get in now.
You better get it in now and save 10% off of everything site-wide, because as soon as he regains his senile brain, he'll take it off the site. It won't be on sale anymore. So it's MoJo50.com, and then shop, and then the whole Doc Thompson collection. Hey, there's some good news from space. Finally.
What's the good news, Uncle Brad?
NASA's Curiosity rover is up and running. They couldn't boot it. So it doesn't matter how far away you go from planet Earth. The thing apparently would not boot up. It booted up in safe mode. When they called IT, I would imagine the first thing IT said was, "Have you tried rebooting?" Because that's what we always got when we were at HGTV and Scripps. If you called IT with any computer problem, "Have you tried rebooting?" "Yes, I tried rebooting 3 times. It still doesn't work."
Pull the thing out and got to blow in the...
Blow out the cord. Yeah, apparently during boot up, everything that the computer was controlling on the rover's planned activities for the day got erased, and then the computer booted up in safe mode, kind of like in Star Trek, where bloop, "Good morning, Captain," and that was it. And this happened just days after NASA had to say goodbye to the sister rover Opportunity. So, fortunately, this whole thing, the billions and billions of dollars that have been spent on all this stuff, finally it's working. I think Skip is working on something. Solar panels in space, something like that. So maybe Skip had something to do with it. UFOs. There's been a UFO spotted in Cleveland.
They're biblical demons.
This is an interesting story.
Read your Bible.
Isaac, if you can take my computer, and for those of you listening at home, you can play along here. And this is a story out of Cleveland, and apparently they had what they thought was a UFO flying over. If you guys are listening in there, you can take the screen full screen, or you don't have to. See, that's what as I look across the glass, I can see that.
Isaac,
it doesn't matter.
We'll
just play it.
Things happen on live television all the time.
If we take a live look.
But would you call what happened on February 21st at 6:24 a.m. on WKYC strange? Several people certainly did.
It's kind of difficult to interpret just because of the fact that you see this object coming up, going sideways, and the video is a little bit grainy.
Published to YouTube by UFO Mania with over 15,000 views, many thought that this was a UFO captured during our live newscast. But the video's pretty grainy. So let's take a look at our actual newscast with a much more clear picture. Now, to me, this isn't a plane or Superman. It's obviously a bird. You can see the wings flapping. But
yes, you
don't
can.
Take my word for it.
I can actually see the wings going up and down.
Demons have wings.
So they brought in a ufologist, and he said, I can see it's a bird.
Portman, the state director of the Mutual UFO Network of Ohio, came in to get a better look.
So I'm sure we're seeing wildlife down along there, most likely a gull.
So we can move this from the category of unidentified flying object to identified flying object.
And there you go. Sometimes it is just a bird. But other times, well, and that's the thing. I've always said, in a time now, it used to be you'd see pictures of UFOs. They were fuzzy, they were grainy, and now when everybody has a phone in their hand, 90% of adults have their phone within arm's reach all the time. We're not getting any crystal clear pictures.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
But, and here's something rather interesting.
Go ahead. What we got?
Is Ron still in there, by the way? Unacknowledged. Did
you watch it?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Unacknowledged on Netflix is the story essentially of. It goes way back to all of.
He's a doctor. What's his name? Stringer, something like that.
It's not Jerry Springer. Oh crap! And it is. Who's the host of Unacknowledged? Anyway, it goes into detail of Project Blue Book and.
Well, what I found interesting is that it goes into quite a lot of detail about how the U.S. government forces the secrets to remain secret.
And they leak out little pieces here and there.
Yeah.
And they've been doing that for years. They've been, I interviewed a guy about there was something years ago called the Gulf Breeze sightings. which actually turned out to be a hoax. But at that same MUFON conference, and that's the Mutual UFO Network, talked to people who had clearances at one time above top secret. And they said, hey, this stuff is being released in dribs and drabs to the public just to make sure that they're getting spoon-fed, essentially.
Dr. Stephen Greer.
So,
Stephen
Greer, that's it.
Thank you.
Spoony-fed, by the way. The spoony-fed, that's right. Spoony-fed. Oh, yes, and for those of you, it's the Food Biz Pro, Chef Patrick just stuck his head in and asked us how we wanted our steak, since it's birthday boy was yesterday, and he sent us steak.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, his birthday's
cows.
today, by the way. Bob.
Cows on...
So, yeah, backyard cows. So, yeah, the government has been doing this for a while. They've been just giving us little tidbits of what they want us to hear, what they want us to see. And then I came across this, and this is... This kind of blew me away, because this is the only time I think I've ever agreed with Harry Reid out of Nevada. And this is a story on...
I thought you said Harry Reams.
No, that's a different story. Totally different story. Harry Reid was... George Knapp interviewed him out in Vegas.
Back in 2007, Reid and a few Senate colleagues sponsored a secret Pentagon program that investigated mystery aircraft and related phenomenon. The program was based right here in southern Nevada, but that effort ended 6 years ago, and really very little from that study has been made public.
Now the senator not only hopes the X-Files get released, but thinks there should be a renewed effort to get to the bottom of things.
Senator Reid sat down with the I-Team's George Knapp for this update.
I'll bet you anything that China's spending some money checking this out. I'll bet you anything KGB Putin is spending some money checking this out.
Former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid dropped major hints that he knows potential adversaries, Russia and China, have carried out their own military studies to figure out how UFOs work and how to build their own.
All right, now think about this. Harry Reid is basically, I mean, the guy has pancreatic cancer. He's counting the days until he expires. Why all of a sudden he's doing this? I mean, you never heard this side of Harry Reid before.
Change of heart?
I don't know, change of heart. I think
you get to grips with God before you meet your maker?
Yes, I think you get toward the end of life and you're like, well, if I could do one good thing, maybe this would be it.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes on and he's describing the this project and had very interesting insights into what the government knows.
There's a whole fleet of them. What's on the ASA? The so-called gimbal UFO, recorded by military pilots in 2015, is one of dozens of similar objects encountered off the coasts of Florida and Virginia in the last 3 years, according to Pentagon sources. The Tic Tac UFO, which buzzed the USS Nimitz carrier group in 2004, was not only seen by pilots and cameras, but also by several high-tech sensor systems, as documented in a 13-page report written for the Pentagon, a document that went into the database of OSAP. That's the original acronym for the study that Reid sponsored. The senator said these craft are not ours.
Wherever they are from, what do you think their interest is in us? What is it? Why are they buzzing around in the skies, and why are they interfering with the military?
Our women! It's our women. It's biblical. They want our ladies. I keep saying this. Am I the only one who just doesn't understand what's going on here? Or excuse me, I'm the only one who does understand what's going on here.
Apparently you and Harry read both.
These UFOs, it's biblical. Go read about your Nephilim. They come down. Those are created out of the angels. They go, oh, look at these women. Oh, my God. You see that women have power over men and
get to
angels.
That in just a second.
Oh, my God.
Interested in them. Same answer to your question, because we don't know.
Well, about Tic Tac, you've seen people try to explain it away. It was flares, it was birds. It's kind of an insult to our best pilots and our sensor systems that show this was real. It could do things we can't do, and we don't understand it.
Well, this has been going on for a long time. All these sightings are said to have been set off a rocket in California or something, but people do not want, who are in positions of responsibility, whether it's a Pentagon or whatever it might be, they don't want to have to try to explain something that's many times not explainable.
Reid's okay. Again, this is Harry Reid saying these things. The guy that I could not stand listening to for so long. I can't stand listening to any of them, quite frankly. But when he starts talking like this, he's letting cats out of the bag now.
It's clear. It's just clear. You have to understand. It's just clear what's going on is that the aliens had a hold of him. They had a hold of him for years. And what's probably happening is the cancer that's going on in his brain right now is coming out of his brain. And so he's getting his old facilities back because you don't understand. He was in the fifth dimension with those aliens that he came down there and they get the probing up there and they take the LSD. Okay, and what that does is wind up manipulating your brains. But he's getting old now. And the cancer medication that he's taken, which was put in our brains by the government, that is it's clearing his head. It's clearing his head.
And the irony there being Senator Harry Reid is in the same ball league now with Alex Jones. He's saying things that Alex Jones would say.
Just saying.
Which all those years they were trying to shut Alex Jones down, and now Harry Reid.
How do you know that Alex Jones isn't Bill Hicks?
I don't.
You ever look at them together?
I've never been in the same
side
room.
by side.
Never seen them in the same room
Did you
together.
find
either.
how Bill Hicks is dead, and then Alex Jones looks like Bill Hicks?
It's all possible. More of Harry Reid and UFOs in just a second. Must be Friday. First, let's talk about gut bacteria because, man, there's nothing I love more than on a Friday morning talking about gut bacteria and what it can do for you and against you. But again, these studies have come out with gut bacteria actually affecting your mood, affecting your whether or not you're depressed. They can affect your weight going up and down, your sleep habits. It is really amazing. And some of the things they say you can do to avoid or change the bacteria in your gut. First of all, eat lots of fruits, vegetables, legumes, beans.
Legumes?
Legumes. It's a port legume, I believe, in California, which doesn't sound terrible. I mean, vegetables. You can eat fermented foods. Fermented foods, they are these like kombucha. Not kombucha.
Bukkake?
Kombucha.
Bukkake.
Kefir. Sauerkraut. You ever had kombucha?
Sauerkraut. It's better than the sweet kraut. She was nice.
Right? The kombucha, it is, yeah. We'll just move on to artificial sweeteners.
Come on, man.
Don't eat too many artificial sweeteners either. Especially in aspartame. And you can go to lovemytummy.com. Remember, the wild reforester's job still waiting for you. Lovemytummy.com.
I didn't see Ron. He's already typing up my pink slip.
There's a little box by the front door. You just drop your key in there. It's like a hotel.
It's like you give me an empty box, pack your stuff up. Oh, wait, you didn't bring any.
Yeah.
None of this shit is yours.
By the way, you won't need the box.
God.
See the guy with the badge and the gun? If you go to lovemytummy.com, that's where you'll find out about Atrantil.
This show's a bigger train wreck than what Doc left behind.
It was developed by a gastroenterologist. It's not a probiotic. It is, however, clinically proven to target the problem bacteria in your gut. If you're experiencing these problems, for crying out loud, go lovemytummy.com. Lovemytummy.com. And I think there's a promo code. Actually, if you just go to lovemytummy.com/MoJo, aha! You do. You get a special offer. It's like a secret. It's like an Easter egg. It's like a hidden Mickey at Disneyland. Go to lovemytummy.com/MoJo. Lovemytummy.com/MoJo. We're talking about UFOs and...
Oh, God.
And Harry Reid, of all things, who would have thought Harry Reid would be a ufologist? Yeah, the former senator from Nevada. He was interviewed by George Knapp out there on Channel 8, and he wants the government basically to release the information that the government has on UFOs.
Says he has not personally read all of the reports and papers produced by the OSAP study, but he saw a lot of it. He assigned...
Did he say OSNAP, or was it OSAP?
OSAP.
2 senior staff members to look at pretty much all of it. The Pentagon has only confirmed the existence of 38 unclassified scientific papers produced by the study. 5 of those have been made public so far. But what else is in the files? Reid previously confirmed the study investigated reports of UFO activity over American nuclear missile bases. He also says part of the focus was on a mysterious ranch in northeastern Utah, a property once...
It would be the Bunny Ranch up there, I think. And oh, wait, that's in Nevada.
I went there once. I went there to the Bunny Ranch once, and I tried to get one of those guys, the women, to come up and talk to me. But she was just, I'm telling you, she was an alien. I wanted to go in there and have some, because sexual relations there is illegal, so I went there.
Totally
but she was probed, and she wouldn't let me probe her.
owned by businessman Robert Bigelow. The I-Team has learned that Bigelow's UFO study employed more than 50 people at one point. One of the known 38 papers looked into the harmful health consequences for persons who've had close encounters. The paper has not been made public, but the chief scientist in the program spoke about it last year in Las Vegas.
As part of this program, we looked at some cases that were really good from Brazil, 77, 78. It was like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. 1,000 pages of documents, all done by the
Exactly. Why do they never give these people any training on speaking in public?
This is why.
This is why it's so easy to not believe in UFOs.
No, you have one or two methodologies. You can explain the science behind it, and you sound boring as crap. Or you get so excited you sound like Alex Jones. So what do you believe?
How about a happy middle ground?
You're not going to find one. You're not going to find one, and it's just because it's too easy to go, listen, I'm really excited. I have to explain to you about these. And you use words like anomalies and whatever. Or you sound like you literally have to get this some information out before somebody shoots a poison dart in your neck and you die.
This guy looks like he's close to death. He may die before he finishes this little speech.
500 photographs, 15 hours of motion film, a lot of medical injuries when people encountered these craft at close range.
Senator Reid wanted
that guy needs some APR coffee.
Encountering a craft at close range. That would kill Doc. Think so.
Yeah, that's it
transition
too.
the study into a special access program, he says, because that was the only way to gain access to information and materials produced by other classified projects that have studied the same question.
Other programs that have been done and information they have, including different pieces of evidence.
Do you know what those pieces are?
No, I just only heard rumors, and I'm not going to get into the rumors, but that's why I wanted the special access to go there. And if I could go ahead, send my staff to look at it.
The question remains, go look at what? George Knapp, 8 News Now.
Interesting. So Harry Reid believes that the government, and I guess theoretically has inside knowledge, that the government is withholding information and actual evidence that could actually prove the existence of UFOs. You ever been to Roswell?
I've been in Roswell. I won't go there. I won't go there. You're not going to get answers there. You know, the answers are there. Aliens exist. They're hiding in plain sight. You're in your movies. They're in everything else. You are absolutely being shown this stuff factually and proven, so that when these, call them grays, call them lizard people, because I'm sure you've done the YouTube wormhole where you watch and all of a sudden you'll see these celebrities with their eyes kind of like blink. What is it? This is
the dude was just on CNN,
right,
being interviewed. He blunk about every 60 seconds.
Correct. So the point is that this is meant to not be shocking. So our civilization is turmoil. This is a theory I absolutely subscribe to when people talk about the end times and all this stuff. So I do believe that we are at a civil war right now. It's just not with guns. It's with words and feelings. And right now we're so chaotic that we're going to be looking for a solution for all of this. An alien's going to come down, prop on the White House lawn, and go, we have technology. We have. Where
do you think we got the microwave?
We have healing. We have all of this, and we're going to teach you how to get along with one another. And we're going to
show us a book that says to serve man, and it's going to end up being a cookbook.
Correct. And we're all going to go, oh my gosh, well, I guess if we can't trust our leaders, look at this. We got to trust this higher power here. And movies have prepped us for this for years. Oh my God. When in actuality, these are just Satan's minions, brethren. They're floating around looking to eat your soul and take you away from Jesus, getting away from it. And they're disguising themselves as aliens.
You don't have to worry about them eating your soul.
No, mine's good. I'm saved. I am saved. I love baby Jesus. He is my man.
Isaac, okay, so what's your take on this, Isaac? Does the government know about UFOs? Do they have evidence?
They do.
Are they hiding it from us?
I think. I don't know. I always wanted to go to Area 51, actually.
Well, you can go to Area 51 if you want. You can drive right through, go right through the gates, just drive on in.
Yeah,
they'll shoot you.
Let us know how it goes.
They will shoot you, but you can go to Area 51. There was a time a few years ago, Area 51 in Nevada is the rumored location of the top secret facility where they keep craft and beings. And at one point, they said they moved it to, I think, to Arizona. or Utah.
They're not going to tell you.
But then it went back.
Tell you. See, on MeWe chat room, Ruff and Ready Jill Hole, I've started reading the Book of Enoch. What was I talking about at 6 this morning? That's it. It's a non-canonized portion of the Bible because the Catholic Church doesn't want you to know the truth.
Isaac, be ready to take this full screen because a little treat. I'm just going to prove that I started this entire internet phenomenon. All right, going way back when. And this is a show from TNN.
Well, as we promised you, today we will begin a week-long look at a subject that I personally find very fascinating.
I don't know, am I?
And
I find it
we have some scoffers in our crowd. I won't mention any names, but here to enlighten us further is Brad Staggs.
Oh, my God!
This is the start of a series. Yeah, 5-part series this week. This is UFO Week on American Magazine, and I don't know if I can enlighten anybody because since I got involved in this whole thing,
that guy has hair and a much higher voice.
I think I've just kind of buried myself. There's so much information on UFOs. When I decided to do this series,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
The voice I'm not following?
I want that hair, dude.
I know. I want.
Is that
I
you?
want that hair too. Damn it!
Okay,
Is that
we'll do
you?
5 parts, and that'll be it. That was fun.
I can see the cheekbones.
Yeah.
Holy
feel
shit.
like that
this country is being indoctrinated.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's the word I was looking for. Over the past, it all began in 1947. Let's start at the beginning. A man by the name of Kenneth Arnold was flying over Mount Shasta in Washington. And he saw 9 objects traveling at a very high rate of speed. And he never did figure out what they were. Well, that was basically the beginning of the UFO phenomena.
So anyway, that was the beginning of the yeah, I know.
You know,
I look at that and I think, if that guy only knew what I know now.
Behind the 17th wall here, for those listeners who have followed Brad throughout the years and whatnot, you guys have no idea.
Despite the restraining orders.
You guys need to Google Brad. You really need to Google him. You have no clue how deep his background goes.
How deep is your love?
And he doesn't talk about it.
That's
wow,
because
that's you.
That's because of the gag order. Sorry. But anyway, UFOs are near and dear to my heart. Maybe we'll do a weekly update. Yeah, I think we will. Coming up in just a second, a fascinating guy. He went from being a surgeon to being an author. If you thought about a career change, boy, talk about a career change. He may have some advice for you as well. That's all coming up right after this.
Fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
If you love cars and the Green New Deal, boy did you have something to rejoice over on Thursday afternoon because Tesla finally unveiled its new Model 3. It's about time as well because it only took 3 extra years to get the vehicle to market and figure out how to get its price point down. What will one of these bad girls cost you? Tesla's managed to get the cost down to $35,000 for the standard version. Previously, the lowest price point for a Model 3 came in at $42,900, and that was following a reduction last month. What do you get for your $35,000 then? You get an electric car that can go 220 miles before needing a charge, reaches a top speed of 130 miles an hour, and goes 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. The standard package will come in black, and it has an all-glass top. But if you really love innovation in cars, Tesla will offer a souped-up version that will go 240 miles on a charge, reaches a top speed of 140 miles an hour, and 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. That one will set you back $37,000. Not too shabby. All of it sounds great, but it does come with a pretty nasty reality for the car retail industry. That's because there's a 6% reduction in workforce thanks to Tesla shuttering all retail car sales in order to get to that $35,000 number. You will only be able to purchase Teslas online from now on. However, Tesla will make up for no test drives with a 7-day or 1,000-mile, whichever comes first, refund policy. So who's up for a weekend joyride in one of these bad girls? One thing we do know is that the new Model 3 is likely a make or break for Tesla's future. Either it stays profitable or it shuts down because of the marketplace. If Tesla and its billions in investments can't make it due to the marketplace, how exactly will any government-induced green energy project do good by the taxpayers? I'm sure the geniuses behind the Green New Deal have all of the answers, though. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Now, don't get too excited. Is it Raquel over on the... she was in the Facebook chat room. Well, those were many, many years ago. It was a lot more hair and a lot less fat.
Sweet mullet.
Thank you very much. Thank you for actually recognizing that
it's a Texas neck warmer.
Business up front and a party in the back, baby. Well, I'm telling you, those were the days. Again, if I'd known then what I know now, I'd likely be under the jail. Or dead. Or both. It's absolutely possible. Loop Dog, hey, Jackholes, I just released a song I wrote for Doc Thompson Show. It's available everywhere music is streamed or sold. I'd love your help spreading this so all Jackholes can hear it. Well, we'll help you by actually retweeting that. I hope it's a good song. If not, it's on you, pal. It is all on you. All right, let's go down to our guest on the phone. If you've ever thought about making a career change or stepping maybe outside of your comfort zone, that is exactly what our guest, our following guest, has done. Dr. Leo, and
yes.
Say your last name for me. Dr. Leo Rosemarin. Rosemarin. There,
yes,
didn't. Names are my secret. They terrify me because I'm always afraid I'm going to screw them up. But you are a hand surgeon who wrote a book.
Yes.
But it's not.
That's correct.
It's not like a medical journal. This is a work of fiction. It's a novel. Tell us about it.
That's correct. It's basically a story about a socially and economically disadvantaged young man. His name is Arik Meir, and he grew up in Los Angeles, and he basically gave up basically an opportunity of a lifetime to get a Division I basketball scholarship to UCLA during the time that they were national champions. Mm-hmm. And in order to discover his Jewishness, he went to a summer camp and met the daughter of the Israeli ambassador to the United States, who basically got into his head, and they fell in love, had a romance, and he basically walked away from this basketball scholarship that would have lifted him up out of poverty, and he became a lone soldier in the Israeli army during the 1970s. One other thing about him is that he grew up very poor because his dad was a severely disabled war veteran in the Israeli War of Independence, and when he got done, he was denied all compensation after the war for reasons that are unclear to him and to the reader until much later, and basically moved to the U.S. and lived a life of poverty and medical complications day to day.
So
he also went off to Israel to
that is a true story. That part of it, and then did you base the novel on that story or?
Nope. No, it's purely a fiction.
Oh, purely fiction. Okay. Wow, that's a fantastic story.
Yeah. It's there are a lot of elements in there that are true to life, and it's a very detailed historical fiction that really brings you back into that time period, but the actual plot itself is fiction.
Okay, so how does a guy who is a doctor, a hand surgeon, which obviously is I would consider it if you go into the left brain, right brain stuff, it is whatever the side of the brain is that deals with logic and being very precise.
The one women don't have.
Right, that one. Into going into something like this, to being a writer and to writing a novel. I mean, what was the impetus for this? What made you do it?
Well, firstly, I am a busy hand surgeon. In fact, I'm speaking to you in between cases in my schedule.
That's amazing.
So I'm operating all day today. Mm-hmm. Basically, hand surgery is what I do. I love it, but I do it for a living, but it's not who I am. Mm-hmm. There was a big life that I had before hand surgery, and there were a lot of factors and a lot of forces that shaped who I am as a person and as a human being, and Israel had a lot to do with it as well. And frankly, there were a lot of issues that that everybody has when they go from teenage years to being in your 20s. That by writing this book, I really helped to resolve.
So it's
in
therapy.
My own mind,
it was therapy that.
So it's. Yeah, it helped me, de-stress. Mm-hmm. It's a lot cheaper than sitting on a couch.
Yes.
And by writing this story, I was able to go back to that time period in my life where I, went from being a teenager to an adult, and it's really kind of like a what if almost. What if my life would have been like that? And most people just think about that in their heads, but they're not really, they don't really explore that. And writing this novel just kind of popped into my head about 6 years ago, and it just kind of off to the races. The story just came right out of my head, and I couldn't stop it.
Is there?
It drove me crazy.
Until you wrote it down. Yeah, I can imagine. Is there a lot of you in the lead character? Do you see yourself in him?
No. The guy is almost like somebody who I'm not. He's kind of like a yin and a yang, Right. So I basically took myself out of this, put the same situations, a similar situation when I was growing up, and this guy is exactly somebody who maybe parts of him I'd like to have been, parts not, but this guy is the anti-Leo.
Interesting. So when you decided to do this, and I'm assuming, had you written anything before, short stories or anything like that?
No. I spent most of the last 20 years writing journal articles in the Journal of Hand Surgery and writing different projects and textbooks. I just published a textbook right before I started writing this one. So, yeah, it's just, it was really just professional stuff, and this thing just crawled into my head, and I couldn't stop it, really.
How long did it take you to write the book?
5.5 years.
Wow. Wow. So you put a lot of historical research in it. I mean, when you were telling the story initially, the hallmark of a good story is it draws you right in, and that thing sucked me right in from the word go. Again, this is kind of a departure from your day-to-day life, and as you said, the being a surgeon is not who you are. It's what you do. So if somebody else, this is almost like a Building America. We do a segment on this program called Building America, which is businesses that are born and bred here in the U.S. of A. and the entrepreneurial spirit that it takes to do something like that. This is like opening a business to you. I mean, this is like starting a different business, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I put it this way. Thank goodness writing this book, for as much as I loved it, it's not my day job. Mm-hmm. But so this book isn't gonna make me rich. But if I make some money off of it, well, that's fine. But if I don't make a nickel out of it, that's fine too. It's I feel like I had a message that I wanted to bring out to people in writing the book, and if I can get people to read it, that'd be great. Like a friend of mine wrote a book, and he said, well, I don't care if you read the book. I just care if you buy the book, if you want to make some money.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. I wrote a book. I think it cost me $1,500. So yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. This book cost me a lot more. I worked with an editor, and the guy charged me through the nose, and I copy editor, and it's been quite a project. I think my wife's not going to talk to me anymore after I'm done.
You got lucky.
This whole project.
Yeah. Yeah. If you'd known it was that easy. So now at least you have author behind your name as well as MD as well. The book is called Lone Soldier. The author is Dr. Leo Rosmarin. And where can people find the book?
You can find it on Amazon. It can get Kindle or softcover.
All righty. And you also have a website, right?
I do. The website is lonesoldierbook.com.
All right, that's lonesoldierbook.com. We'll tweet out a link to that as well. And any advice for somebody? I know there are a lot of people out there who want to, who are aspiring authors or screenplay writers. Do you have any advice for those people who might be frustrated and could use a little pick-me-up?
I do. There are a couple of things, especially somebody who, if it's not your day job. Like, first thing, never sit in front of a computer trying to write if you really have nothing to say. When if I had nothing to say, I just walked away and it didn't bother me. Sometimes a storyline comes to you at random moments. Just jot them down, even if it's not chronological. I did not write this book chronological, even though it feels like it. I wrote, like 30 different things at 30 different times, not chronological, and then I put it all together. Also, especially if you're writing historical fiction, just put in the outline of what you want to say in terms of the plot, and then do research the living daylights out of this thing so that this thing sounds plausible. also, you know, I mean, all the non-fictional aspects, including people that you're going to put in. You have to be really accurate with that, because a reader won't lambast you if you for quote unquote untruths in terms of the plot, but in terms of it being it's not the way it happened.
Right.
But if you have a person who is beloved, and you portray him wrong, people aren't going to forgive that. I spoke to lots of experts, not just I read 30 books cover to cover and highlighted them to get the feel of the period. I spoke to experts. I was prepared to make changes, not to be stubborn. Always take constructive criticism as a positive, and you got to be disciplined so the book doesn't interfere with family and work life. It's amazing how much time can be freed up. I wrote from 9 o'clock to midnight, 4 days a week for several years.
Nice quiet time.
Yeah, quiet time when the kids are in bed and the wife's doing something else, and I just did that. We went on vacation. My family got up at around 9 o'clock. Went to the beach or whatever. I was up at 4, and I sat on the balcony, watched the sunrise, and I typed, and it really, you got to be discreet. You can't let it take over your life, because otherwise your family's not going to talk to you. And
that's not a bad thing.
But that's really,
in some cases, that's
kind
not
of
a
what
bad
it
thing.
is.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Dr. Leo Rosmarin, thank you so much. Again, the website is Lone. So I'm going to get this right. It is LoneSoldierBook.com. Yeah, LoneSoldierBook.com, and it's available on Amazon as well. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you joining us this morning. And he's gone. That's pretty. I mean, you've never written a book, have you?
Yeah, I actually have. I got a book. It's I'm being published by Words Matter Publishing, so I'm in the process of it's being edited as we speak.
How many crayons did you go through?
3 boxes. 3 boxes.
Is this something people can know about yet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I made the announcement 2 weeks ago. I got picked up by a publisher first. I didn't catch what he said as far as he was self-published or not. I was looking into that route. I was told by publishers that, and I'm sure publishers want to make money.
Yes.
But I was told getting self-published is the kiss of death. So
really?
Oh yeah, because
by a publisher told you that?
So a publisher told me that, but then again, here's what I heard. This is what I get with my publisher is that obviously you split a percentage of sales and whatnot, but the publisher is also responsible for setting up book signings, all that kind of stuff. And what do you call it?
Yes, in a lot of cases, in some cases they you write a book and you don't get it pushed by the publisher, in which case you end up having several boxes of books.
True.
By the way, which may or may not be a surprise to the attendees of MoJoCon.
Oh, speaking of which, we have the host of Off Track with Whiskey Six.
Excellent.
On the line.
Excellent. Whiskey Six, that be you?
Guys.
Well, what's going on, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing today? Man, hey, I got to talk to Brad here real quick. I need Brad, I need you to dispose of a rumor going through the Jackhole Nation at this moment. That
the child is not
MoJo 50. Well, no. Well, we'll get to that later. I'm sure those records are sealed.
Yes, they are.
There's talks that maybe MoJo 50 has hired what might be Alex Jones. Is he in the second seat right now?
It is possible that we do have
what we've determined. What we've determined is that due to alien technology, alien technology has been enabled. It has enabled me to leave my body. It's enabled me to leave my body and take over. It has allowed me to take over telepathically anyone I want to. So it's just telepathic, and it's all about the gay frogs. So I'm just telling you.
You know, it's odd to me that last fall, Alex Jones seemed to slip off the radar, and then all of a sudden this guy, Dominick Izzo, shows up
for a while. Bill Hicks.
And y'all start talking to him, and the next thing you know, he takes a second seat, and I think he's a shapeshifter.
You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
I got his girth, I'll tell you that.
Oh, wait.
Waist size. What's that?
Brad, you didn't send me the memo.
Which memo? You weren't supposed to. Shh. Don't tell anybody Alex Jones is here. It's a secret.
You, what's going on for your show coming up on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern?
Yes, sir. We are going to talk to a brother of mine. He's an Air Force veteran as well. Actually, he's down there in your guys' neck of the woods down there in Austin, Texas. Yeah, we're going to come to the table with him. Or maybe we're going to put him in the barrel. I don't know. We haven't decided what we're going to do with him yet. Big Poppy.
You sound very definitive on that. Yeah, we're 2 hours. And
he does not know what he's in for.
No, there's no doubt about that. And it's so how many jackholes are take part in the program each week as hosts?
I have Miss Peachy and Melissa Sippy, and then Rusty Lugnut. So there's the 4 of us.
And you guys are all in different locations, right?
I'm in Arizona. He is in Alabama, and Melissa Sippy is in Melissa Sippy.
We have spared every penny on our phone system just. You sounded like an alien from another dimension there for just a second.
I'm telling you, they come down here and they take over your phones, they take over your brains, and they get the gay frogs in there. And if you all you have to do is take these psychotropic drugs anally, and through your rectum, absorbs it better in your bloodstream. You can pick up TV, radio sounds, brainwaves, and you can see God, but it's not God, and you can just be him. It's just what it is.
Yeah. By the way, we did spend some money, and the Jackhole Nation will be happy to know. I probably shouldn't even say this until it's installed, but there is a new phone system coming.
Okay,
so it's possible that in the future, when we take phone calls on this that you actually might be able to understand them.
Sure.
I mean, we didn't want to really go over the edge.
Except the new phone system won't fix this because that's just a bad signal.
So we're going to blame that on Whiskey 6.
That's what we should do.
He's calling from Illinois. That's why.
Yeah,
they're taxing him for his phone time now.
All right, Whiskey 6. Again, it's Sunday night, 8 o'clock. That's Eastern time, right? Or is that
yes,
Central
sir. 8
time?
p.m. Eastern on MoJo 50.
And by the way, if you have an Alexa Echo show, you can just say, Alexa, play Libertarian Talk Radio.
Oh, wow.
And she will say, playing MoJo 50 Radio. And it's like, Alexa, it's not 50, it's MoJo 50. I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you just said. And then that's followed by
the border. Forget it.
Exactly what you just said, which I have no idea what it was, but it sounded semi-intelligent. And he's gone. Well, there you go. So next week that will improve. Thanks to our sponsors, by the way, who are spending money with us to make life better for you. RidUZone.com. That is the place to go if you don't want to end up looking like Izzo or me.
No, dear God, no.
Here's the thing. It's so much more than just, the basics of weight loss is fewer calories in than you expend.
That's the law of thermodynamics.
Right.
You burn more than you put in.
The trouble is there's also sleeping the right way. There's getting enough sleep, which someday I hope to find out what that feels like. Things have been just a little chaotic here for the past
You've had a rough
3 years.
month. You've had a rough
Hell,
month.
it's been a rough 3 years. I didn't want to sleep. What? Is that asking too much? Just one night's sleep. And then I swear to my brain is going to be, I'm going to be out there and I'm going to jog and not next to trains.
No.
Look, RidUZone has that fabulous OEA molecule, which of course stands for olelethanolmide. Exactly. You don't have to know how to say it. You just have to put it in your mouth and swallow it.
I was on the bell for that one.
I know. I just thought it was
that guy
stereo
had,
bells.
Yeah, he had a lot of bell worthy, but I don't like to insult guests.
Sometimes when the guests don't know,
I know
it gets them distracted and it gets them off track.
I can't.
If they're familiar with the program and they understand, that's one thing. But if they don't, they hear a bell and they stop, and then it interrupts the whole flow. So it's better sometimes to wait until the end of the interview and then say, okay, there's one for that and that and that. So that's the reason. Plus, I can't hear anymore.
There you go.
But go to RidUZone.com and get you some RidUZone. It's a healthy part, or it's maybe a secret weapon in your battle against the bulge. And I swear to you,
my grandfather was in that. He was in the Battle of the Bulge.
Was he really?
Yep.
You
came home with shrapnel in his leg.
You inherited the bulge.
Yeah.
Just saying. So I thought it would be good, since we are at the weekend, to give you some good advice. As you go forth into the
Wild
dark
blue
night,
yonder.
how to protect yourself from negative energy.
You're getting rid of me. You're getting rid of me.
This is you know, when you bring up the gay frogs and the Book of Enoch and the demons and the all of the bad stuff. A lot of ways to protect yourself from negative energy.
How do we protect ourselves, Uncle Brad?
Sometimes we refer to it as bad vibes.
True.
Usually,
Bad juju.
that's always bad juju. That's always, for the most part, traceable back to a negative person, a group, or maybe an agenda nearby. So these, again, according to Keen.com, these descriptions of negative energy and the protection tips, both practical and metaphysical, to protect you from negative effects. All right, complainers, number one thing.
I bitch a lot.
The person is sure to tell everybody about all the problems, the personal and public problems in the world today. No victories or enjoyment are possible because everything has a negative side that needs to be explained in painful detail.
So all of my exes.
Pretty much. So the protection, everybody's familiar with the complainer. So here's the protection tip. Music is the best protection in this sense.
I agree.
Put your headphones on. That's it.
Raise the volume just a bit whenever the person comes into the room. It doesn't matter what type of music. I would
just make sure it's loud enough for them to hear.
Just about any combination of rhythm and melody helps dissipate negative energy. Metals also conduct music well, so a metal amulet with a power symbol that you choose can ward off the whiner on a consistent basis. Fear.
Yeah.
This person, be it the economy, illness, germs, or a host of other possible afflictions, fear is some of the most negative energy out there. Dealing with it keeps many a psychologist as well as psychics and astrologers employed. And here's the protection tip. I guess this would be fear that you have within you.
Fear does not exist in this dojo.
Get any fear inside you?
No, I don't.
Would you like some? Protection tip here. Consider the comforting quote of Franklin Delano Roosevelt as the perfect antidote to being needlessly afraid.
I want another martini.
Exactly. I believe that that was LBJ as well. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. If you just repeat that to yourself over and over, you see, fear is actually a concept, not a material reality, unless it's a serial killer.
No, that's not
or a clown. If you're afraid of a clown,
it's not afraid. That's just a messed up white guy.
See, if you want to hold off the negative energy of an idea, a quartz crystal that you carry in your pocket or around your neck, depending on how fashionable you want to be, will be able to absorb the negative energy of fear before it pierces your aura and can do damage. Do you believe in crystals and things?
Absolutely. Crystals do have properties that can absorb energy like that. It's 100%. I absolutely agree with it. And I don't like to go with any of that kind of stuff unless I can prove it has correlation to the Bible. And I have a friend of mine who has got a degree in theology, and he has talked about vibrations and all that stuff and how it does connect with the Bible. So I'm good with that. I'm all good with that.
Underminers. Just as you're making progress, things start to fall apart. Look around, and the underminer may have been hard at work to ensure that you did not get ahead.
Naysayers and jagoffs.
Here's your protection tip against underminers. Isaac, pay particular attention here.
All right.
What the underminer hates is the light of being exposed. Deserves a bell. So be sure to have a small candle burning somewhere safe, because otherwise you get back to that fear thing when it starts a fire. Even better is to undermine an underminer. By giving this person a candle as a gift.
Does it have to be a scented candle?
That's a good. It does not say it. Because
I mean,
maybe
it goes Bed Bath and Beyond.
Perhaps, and maybe a patchouli candle.
That's what the hippies smell like.
Patchouli, actually, it's an acquired scent.
It simultaneously pulls my attention. It simultaneously pulls my attention in and just repels me. It's weird. I like it and I hate it.
Kind of like that girl you dated in high school.
No, I never dated. I didn't actually date until I was 22.
Yeah, that one. Joy killers. No matter how great an accomplishment you or someone close to you has to share, a joy killer will make sure to minimize achievements at the very least and will work to try to make everyone feel rotten about having these successes. Know anybody like that?
Party poopers.
Exactly. So here's your protection tip. The overt prayer is an ancient form of warding off evil spirits. In a contemporary home or workplace, the overt prayer is called the interruption. So basically, say a prayer.
I say a little prayer for you.
I think people
forever and ever. Oh, I'm sorry.
Underestimate the power of prayer, especially if you can. We used to have a prayer group at the other place.
Okay.
We need to get Falma. I need to get in touch with Falma
And
We could
Louise?
use, no, but Falma. Oh, you'd love Falma.
Really?
Falma is an incredible woman, and
would I love her?
She's a prayer warrior.
Oh, okay.
And she is amazing. So I'll work on that this weekend as well. I guess that's all we got. Time to wrap this thing up. Hit it.
What do you mean it's last call?
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But as always, before we go, let's find out what, if anything, we learned today. We learned that Izzo has a fantastic future in the end-of-life industry. Mm-hmm. By the end of his stay, the patient will be begging to die. Mm-hmm. See what I did there?
I like it.
We learned the upside to having a tooth in your nose. You never have to pick your own boogers. And we learned that if you're going to be an author and write a book in the English language, you may want to master just a little bit of it before you do an interview promoting said book. We'll just leave it right there. So what, if anything, did you learn today?
Well, I learned today that aliens have taken over our phone lines, that a young Brad Staggs looked like Riggs from Lethal Weapon.
Right.
And apparently I'm being fired in about 3 minutes.
I got Matt Dillon a lot when I was younger.
Okay.
I looked like Matt Dillon.
Okay.
Fired? No. No, actually, is it common knowledge what your location is?
Yeah, people know I'm in Texas. I was in Texas from last week, Monday, till today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't know.
When are you coming back?
So that's completely up to MoJo 50.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Listeners, you might as well email Brad and tell him what you want.
Don't email me, Beth at MoJo50.com.
Yes, if you guys have enjoyed it, thanks for, I'll get to the comments section, but thanks guys for having me on the Daily Mojo for the last 2 weeks. This has been an absolute blast. This is an amazing, amazing show. Brad is way too humble for his own good. If by some chance you have any opinion about what could be improved and what you want to see out of me, even if it's for the Rants of Izzo on 7 p.m. Eastern, go ahead and email Beth at MoJo50.com, Beth at MoJo50.com. Give her your feedback, but I am out of here unless you guys say otherwise and kind of nudge her to...
We'll have Brandon in here next week. And honestly, like I've said, this show is a work in progress, so we'll see what happens. Hey, what if anything did the listeners learn today?
We got the DMXDM at Rants of Izzo. You stop. This is we're talking about passion before when you quit. Right. You stop when it stops becoming a passion driven. When it becomes an expectation or obsession without a passion, you still have nothing.
Yep.
That's when it's time to pack up.
Yeah.
I
put the bell away.
MoJo Jedi hashtag what I learned today says, why does Brad keep talking about the tramp stamp on above his back door?
Because I'm proud of it. Why does anybody talk about their tramp stamp?
Crouching Jackhole Hidden Dragon says hashtag what I learned today. While I don't condone stabbing somebody over and over, bringing home beer, I do understand it.
Exactly. Can't condone it, but I certainly understand it.
And Wisconsin Jackhole hashtag what I learned today says, if you are having a kid and it comes out a different color, you blame the father for cheating.
Hashtag you're doing it wrong. What does Matlock have coming up next on the Conservative Cartel?
Who's that?
Exactly. He's going to be loud and from CPAC. That's what we can, the two things that we can be sure of, loud and directly from CPAC. We'll get to those new numbers on procrastination, by the way, as soon as Doc Thompson returns from his vacation. Today, your Daily Mojo is a Ron Phillips and Yo Soy Aiza with one Z production. Remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, you live by the 5 rules. You have a shot at being right and being happy. And if you buy the pillow, your shot at being right and being happy goes up substantially. It's at MoJo50.com. Shop and then Doc Thompson collection. Get them before their price goes up because it's a limited edition. Good night, Doc Thompson. We know where you are.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This
social media.
I'm here, buddy.
What's that?
I said I'm here.
Oh, did you hear me call you a social media whore?
Me? Oh yeah, because I can freaking put some stuff out.